Hi everyone, welcome to the Spring Cup, or the UK Spring Cup. My name's Tom. I'll be doing some commentary for you today. We're coming out of the HADO Arena in Coventry. Hopefully you can hear me all right. We've just kicked the tech off, so if for whatever reason you are not hearing me correctly, please just chuck a message in chat and hopefully the tech guys next to me will work it out. But we're just getting set up for our very first game. We're going to be doing effectively some quarterfinals, leading into two sets of semi-finals, into some finals. So I'll very quickly run through who's playing, but we're going to get on with the first game very quickly. So at the moment we're getting set up for Synergy. That's going to be on red against Esports Wales. Then it's going to be Wolfpack versus the Agents of HADO. Then it's going to be Wolfstar Red versus the Flying Mongooses. And then finally we're going to have Team No versus Devourer, at which point we'll reshuffle and do some more matches after that as well. So first up we're going to have Synergy that's on the red team. They are confusingly wearing blue shirts. And we've got the Esports Wales who are on the blue team, confusingly wearing red shirts. Both these teams are actually contain multiple players that are going to be travelling to the World Cup in Shanghai in the not too distant future. But I think we're pretty much good to go whenever they're ready. All right, here we go. We've gone over to the court picture here. So as you can see there on the right, you've got the red shirts are Wales on the blue side. And just off to the left, you've got the opposite team, which is Team Synergy. My money's going to be on Synergy on this one, but we shall see what happens. First game of the tournament. Okay, game on. So, everyone hanging at the back to start with. Looks like Wales are nice, gaining some energy. They might be then pushing. They are attacking the player closest to our camera, which is Ash, otherwise known as Pyro on Synergy. He's been targeted by Team Wales. No points on the board yet. Shields going out from the Welsh team there, mainly just to give them a bit of breathing room. They're not actually making kind of a shield play. First point goes to the red team though. 1-0 currently to Synergy. Here we go, we've got some point of view cameras coming out of players. This is what they can see when they're playing. So basically you can see at the bottom there, they've got their charge rate. One of them's just trying to put a shield up. 3-0, that was a really good play there from Team Synergy, pushing forwards. One of their younger players taking the front row, putting a nice strong shield up at the front there. Now this is where the Welsh team are going to find it difficult because they've got a really strong shields on their front line and it's late in the game. They don't have long left to try and even up the score. We've got 20 seconds. How many points is Synergy going to get before the end of it? The choice from the Welsh team is that all they can do is knock down those shields or try and work around them. That's it, getting a point back. That's good, Welsh team. Come on, you can do it. All right, that's the first match. Now, there's going to be a bit of a gap between this and the next round. It's best 2 out of 3. So what's going to happen is they're all going to reset their gear. Player 3 seemed to score all the points there for the red team. He got 8 knockouts, which is immensely good. So we'll work out who that is in a minute when the next game starts. So the MVP of the red team definitely is player 3 there. So between games, basically the players will have 100 seconds. And what they'll be doing is resetting their stats. Now just quickly to go over the rules, they have 80-second rounds and the aim is to knock out the opposite team as many times as you can. They'll have a petals floating in front of them that is the target you're shooting at, and there's 4 parts to that. Once you've knocked out all 4 of those parts, that's a point for your team and that player's out of the game for about 3 seconds. Each team has stats that they can put into. As the tournament progresses we'll talk more about that, but fundamentally that seemed to be mostly a straight shootout with a slight difference from Team Synergy because one of their team put more points into shields, meaning at the end of the round they had some more shields that they could use, whereas Team Wales didn't. They went for a straight shootout tactic. They've got 30 seconds now to the next game, each team having a quick conflab with each other, trying to work out if they're sticking with the same tactics or not. We shall see. I'm not 100% who player 3 is on Synergy. We'll work out who that is because that's the player to watch on their team, given that they got so many of the knockouts in the last game. Let's see if Team Wales can pull out any different tactics or if they're going to stick with the same thing. But here we go, getting ready for the second matchup between Team Synergy and Wales. Here we go. HADO fight. Okay, here we go. Let's see what tactics they come out with. Okay, so player 3 I think actually is Pyro, which is Ash, so he's the closest player on the left-hand side of your screen. So he was the one that was being targeted at the start of the last match. It looks like the Welsh team are still trying to target him, but he's doing an excellent job at still dodging. That said, they've just knocked him out, and that's nicely done because they've worked out that he's the person that knocked them out a lot last time. However, Synergy have got an advantage here because each of their other players can also play very well. So by focusing all they can on Pyro, what's happening is the rest of Team Synergy is filling in for Pyro, which is allowing them to get some knockouts. As you can see there, good movement from Synergy pushing to the front of the court. The Welsh team feel a bit pinned back at the back of their court. They've got the entire half of their court that they can move up to the line. If they step across that line, it doesn't really do much apart from the fact that they can't shoot, so effectively it's a massive downside, so you should stay in your half. But here we go, look at the work from Synergy there on the front line, both creeping up to either side. It makes it very difficult for the team on the right there, the blue team, to effectively get shots across multiple people. But there you go, you've got shouts coming from the audience. They're trying to highlight that the team player is on one, so they're trying to get the rest of the Welsh team to target that player. But is it going to matter? We've only got 3 seconds left. Team Synergy with a definitive lead there, 15-1. Let's look at some stats. Look at the score there, so spread all across Team Synergy on the red team. Congratulations to player 4 on the Welsh team for getting a good shot there as well. But that was a brilliant bit of play. So, as I say, what happened at the start, I believe, was that Pyro got targeted by the Welsh team, but fundamentally they ended up in a situation where they couldn't cope with the amount of expert shooting coming out of Team Synergy. I will try and grab one of the players off the court if I can, because it's best 2 out of 3. So given that Synergy won both of those matches, that should mean that effectively they win. Bear with me just 2 seconds, and we're going to look to see if we can grab one of them. They look a bit worn out. We'll talk about the next game until we see if we can grab one. So what's going to happen next is we're going to end up with Wolfpack in the red team versus Agents of HADO in the blue team. Bear with me a second. I think one of the tech guys has gone out to go and try and find somebody for me to interview. But yeah, so the game after this one's going to be Wolfpack versus Agents HADO. There's going to be a bit of a break between them. Oh my God, we've got an expert witness. So you've been playing for Team Synergy, is that correct? Yeah. Did you enjoy the game? Yeah. Okay. How long have you been playing with Team Synergy?
Since the start of this year.
Start of this year, okay. Who did you feel on the Welsh team was the biggest threat? Or were they all about equal?
Yeah, all about equal.
All about equal. Okay. Did you have a specific game plan going up against the Welsh team? Did you expect what they were going to do, or what was your game plan going into it?
Well, in the first game we thought they might go shields, but then
Okay.
if they didn't, it would still work because Ash went shields, so he can put them up at 35 seconds for me. So I went shields in the first game. So
Yeah.
I put them up for Ash.
Oh, okay.
At 35 seconds, so he can put farm kills.
Right, I'm with you. So effectively, you were planning for them to go shields, which they didn't, but you had a backup plan. So if they didn't go shields, you could use your shots quite well. I did notice that in the first game that effectively you had the score lead going into the second half. You then put a bunch of shields up. So were you feeling pretty confident at that point?
Yeah.
Okay. I did notice that you and Ash were creeping quite far forwards during the second game. Was that intentional?
Yeah, because we just tried to get as many kills as we could.
Okay. Just to secure the lead.
Yeah.
Fair. Is there any other teams that you're looking forward to playing today, or you're nervous about?
Team No and Warpstar, but I'm not sure if we'll play both of them.
Okay, yeah. It depends on how things pan out. Fair. I was about to say, how are you enjoying the tournament? Is this your first sort of Spring Cup, as it were?
Yeah. So we've played for Synergy since the first one, since this year.
Yeah.
Since the start of this year. And this is like the biggest tournament so far.
Awesome. Are you thinking you're going to win?
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, confident? Okay. I'll be interested to see what happens. I personally think you guys have a very good chance of doing well. I was about to say, your 2 teammates, if I'm not mistaken, Ash and Shamai, are both going to be representing the UK at the World Cup in China.
Yeah.
So how long do you reckon until you go out there?
2 years.
2 years, okay.
That's what I'll be allowed.
Fair. Yeah, I was about to say, I think there's a minimum age in there. Sweet. Right, I think we're getting ready for the next game. Thank you very much for joining me. It's Fabian, is that correct?
Yeah.
Perfect. Enjoy the rest of the day. I'll speak to you again later. Right, who's up next? We've got, let's have a look at my notes, Wolfpack and Agents of HADO. So Wolfpack's going to be on the red team, so that's on the left-hand side of your screen. And then we've got Agents of HADO that's going to be on the blue team, on the right-hand side. I've seen Wolfpack playing before. They've got some really good players. So Wolfpack consists of Mikey, Nathan and Daniel. And Agents of HADO, my notes down here, so they've got Rohan, Roma and Sam. I believe Rohan on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I can't tell you which player he is, I'll try and work it out when the game gets underway, is again one of the players that may be going to China to represent the UK in the World Cup in May. So they've got a very good player there on Agents of HADO. That being said, Wolfpack I've seen play before and are also extremely good. So we'll be looking forward to see how they do. As I say, I've seen Mikey play before, and I know he's a very good player. I was watching some of the training earlier, and some of his teammates seem to be very agile as well. But here we go, we're going to get started.
3, 2, 1.
All right, let's go. Okay, so let's see what tactics come out of these teams. Early shot there from one of the red players. Okay, so one of the red players has got very small energy orbs. So there's 4 stats. One of them is scale, one of them is speed, one of them is how much they can charge, how many shots they're going to fire, and one of them is shield. So the person who's firing very small orbs, I imagine has put his points into something else, which could be something like shields. So I think that's Mikey. So yeah, Mikey there, just push forward, he's got 5 shields. That means during the course of the 8-second round, he's going to have 5 shields he can put up, and they're going to be extra strong. Because if you have a level 5 shields, they're actually stronger than a level 1, 2, 3 or 4 shield. So with the shields, they're one way. So once you put one up, you can shoot through it, but the other team can't. So the only option the other team has at that point is to knock your shields down or to try and shoot around them. At the minute, the blue team are doing actually quite a good job. So Agents of HADO are doing quite a good job at coping with the fact that there's lots of shields being put against them. So even though it's only 2 all, I actually think Agents of HADO have got a good sort of chance of winning this if they can keep up the pace that they're doing. What needs to happen right now is they need to take advantage of the shields on the red team. Looks like it's very close. 10 seconds, only 1 point in it. This game can turn on a dime. Because there's 3, there we go, 4 all. Very exciting. 5 seconds left. We could be going to overtime. Come on. All we need is 1 more point. Okay, so we've got a draw. Well, that basically means we're going to go to overtime in 7 seconds. It's going to be first knockout win. So whichever team gets the knockout is going to get, or the first knockout is going to win. They need to move. Don't stand still. So the problem there is blue team all ganged up on one side. They're trying to use a shield, but the red team can just focus them down. Normally you try and focus one target. There we go, Agents of Shield, or Agents of HADO, sorry. So what I would say is I think the reason Agents of HADO won the shootout at the end is because Mikey, unfortunately, had put his points into shield. So when it went to the overtime, he didn't have any shields left, which meant that his orbs were less useful. So effectively you had a 2v3 situation on a shootout. So well played there by Agents of HADO. So we're going to have a 100-second break leading into the next game, looking at some stats here. So reasonable movement. Player 2 on the red team moves 75 metres, not bad. 33% actually coming out of player 3 on the red team's pretty good, so that's quite a good accurate shooting. He's got 5 size scale, I think it is. And obviously Mikey using his shields, but fundamentally his team didn't really get behind them and use them to the best use that they could possibly have. I did like the shields that Mikey was putting up. He was often using 2 to create effectively a little bunker in a corner far up on the court, and if you can do that and one of your teammates can get behind it and make some accurate shots, it's actually really useful. So it was really good positioning for Mikey, but we shall see what happens moving into the next games. Agents of Shield, I keep talking about getting my Marvel brain in. Agents of HADO doing a brilliant job at remaining calm, knocking the shields down quickly, and just effectively going for more accuracy and getting some knockouts. Which is a very good, calm way to deal with it. So as you can see here on the court, the teams are looking at their wrists. That's their control unit. So when they're throwing energy orbs, it's all controlled through body motion. So with their hand in the air, that means they're charging energy ready to fire. And when they throw their arm forwards, that's them firing, at which point it goes where their headset is looking. So you aim with your head and you shoot with your arm. Here we go, next game. Let's see if there's a change of tactic coming out of either team. Remember, it's best 2 out of 3, so the red team, Wolfpack, need to pull something out of the bag here, because if they lose, that's going to be them knocked out of this this part of the semi-final. Okay, 10 seconds gone, no score yet. Looks more like a straight shootout. Yeah, Mikey's size of his orbs are a lot bigger, which means that he's not on shields. So we've got 1 shield coming up there. Nice bit of a push, but they're not shield builds, so this is going to be more of a straight shootout. First point on the ball goes to Agents of HADO. Can Wolfpack pull it back? Nice, good shot there from Agents of HADO. Just a 1-shot KO straight away on the person at the front. And that's great, because you don't want the enemy team to be sat on your front line without being knocked out, because that's a really dangerous position for them to be. This is a very close game. Both teams looking like they're going for a bit of accuracy. Agents of HADO getting an extra point there, 30 seconds left. Wolfpack pushing forward to the line, tying it up 2-2. Are we going to get another overtime? you can see there's a bit of focus fire coming out of Wolfpack there onto one player in the middle. I think what they're trying to do is nullify one of their better shots on the opposite team. Unfortunately, he's also quite good at dodging. So whilst they're putting all that effort into that one player, unfortunately, some of the other team are managing to get some knockouts on him. So I believe that's what they're trying to do. Okay, 7 seconds left. Can they tie it up? They can. That's it. 3-3. Draw. Overtime. Okay. So Wolfpack need to make some smart choices here about who they go after. Do they go after the person they've been going, who's obviously a good shot, which helps put him off, or are they going to go for one of the people that's easier to hit? This is very tense. They're still going for the centre player. Unlucky there. So unfortunate. They got a lucky shot on one of the Wolfpack players, but well played to Agents of HADO. And Wolfpack were playing so well there. I mean, getting 2 overtimes against them is really good. As I say, I think what the aim was there in that second game was to try and nullify one of the better shots from Agents of HADO, which is what they were able to do by getting him to dodge more. Because fundamentally, dodging makes it difficult to shoot accurately. Up next after this, we'll see if we can grab one of the players from one of these two teams to have a bit of a chat in between. But up next, we're going to have, I believe, Warpstar, red, against Fighting Mongooses in blue. So Fighting Mongooses I know quite well from quite a long time ago. But here we go. We're about to have an interview with an expert player out of Wolfpack. Please pull up a few. Mikey, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Well, it's not great after the loss, but
What was your plan going into? What was your plan going into that first game?
we were trying our usual shield tactic, which didn't really work too well.
Yeah.
They put one player on high charge, which doesn't put out a lot of bullets and get shields down quickly. So
I'm with
we
you.
had to change the tactics a little bit.
Do you think that they predicted that because they knew you were going to do that, or do you reckon they just did that for safety in case you did it?
I think that they probably knew I was going to do it.
Yeah.
Because it's quite a usual thing for us back to play with shields.
Yeah.
But I think the main reason we lost there is because we've been, given circumstances, we weren't going to go very far. I'm just recovering from a big injury. I'm in a knee brace at the moment.
Oh, right, I'm with you.
And we're missing one of our usual starting players.
So you had a bit of a lineup change, and you've got injuries that you're dealing with. What I did appreciate when you went into the second round that you obviously changed the tactic up, so you went for more straight shootout. I'm impressed that you basically got it to a draw both times. In the second game, am I right in saying, because it seemed like you were targeting their middle player, was that because he's one of the better players and you were trying to nullify his ability to shoot? Or
Not too much. It was just that as the game went on, he got down to one life marker, so
Oh,
it
with
was
you.
easier to kill because you only had to run one shot, whereas other players would have had to land 3, 4, even
Fair.
2 times 2. It's just he was the lowest, so it was easier to kill.
fair? No, good logic. So, who are you looking forward to playing later? Anyone? Or who are you looking forward the least to? Got anyone you're nervous about?
If we won that game, I definitely would have said that I was looking forward to the least. We were looking forward to the least, which was Synergy, who
Yep.
of course beat Wales. But out of the teams that are going to be on our side, with my predictions, I'm going to guess that Team on Blue and Fighting Mongooses
Yeah.
are probably the ones to watch out for from our point of view, but equally Devourers, who we play now, I don't think they'll have enough to overcome though, but I do think they'll be a bit of a threat for us, yeah.
I'm with you. So you think you're going to end up fighting Mongooses and Devourers. You think Devourers might be a bit of a threat. Okay, cool. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of the day. Good luck with the knee. Hopefully it gets better and you can come back to knocking everyone out with your excellent shooting. But well played. No worries. Cheers. Right, so up next we're going to have Warpstar versus the Fighting Mongooses. So Warpstar is going to be on the red team and the Fighting Mongooses are going to be on the blue team. So Fighting Mongooses there on your screen at the moment on the blue team are an old school team. They've been playing for almost as long as HADO's been in the UK. I myself once used to play back in the day, which is why I've ended up doing some commentary on it. So the very first sort of year that we were playing, the Mongooses were our arch rivals, so I've got a lot of time for them. On Warpstar, this is a newer team, young, energetic. We shall see what they do. I've seen some of them play before, and I think they're actually quite good. So I think there's a very high chance that they'll give Mongooses a run for their money. That being said, Mongooses are looking fighting fit. They've got some very good players. I'm expecting Dan, who's the taller gentleman on that team, to be quite aggressive. He can normally push to the front line, but we shall see what they're up to. I'm not entirely sure what tactics we're going to get out of either team, because fundamentally they can probably both do tactics that could suit each other. So shields is an interesting one. It could be that Flying Mongooses go for a shield build. That being said, the teammate of theirs that I would expect to normally do that isn't on the pitch at the moment, so I'll be interested to see what they do. So, talking about stats, if someone in the opposite team takes a high shield build, what you're going to want to do is have a high charge rate to deal with it. Hello, do you want to have a quick sit down? We can talk about this upcoming game. Sorry, I'm going back to my thing. This is Ash. Ash, welcome. Team Synergy.
Woo!
How'd you game go earlier? Are you happy with it?
Yes.
Am I right in saying you got the most points in the first round for your team? Because were you player 3?
Yeah, I got 8.
Eight. Yeah. So you basically got all the points for your team. And the best thing is I think the other team were targeting you, so I literally said in the commentary, I feel like they're targeting you at the start, and you still end up getting the most knockouts.
That's fine. That's what I wanted to do, is to create sort of extra pressure.
Yeah.
Because if I can take 2 of the players on, even if they kill me once, my other 2 players are going to kill the other guys as well.
Which is I think what happened in the second game, to be fair, because at that point they then tried to focus in the second game, but then the rest of your team started getting knockouts. It was great.
14, 14,
Who do you think is going to win out of the upcoming games? So we've got Warpstar and Fire Mongooses. I've basically said it could go either way, but I don't know
I agree.
Warpstar that well.
With youth on their side, might be a Warpstar.
What tactic do you predict coming out of Warpstar? You know these guys better than I do at this point.
2 attackers.
Okay, here we go. Right, I think we're about to start, so let's switch back to the court. You might as well join me for this commentary and give me any points you see.
Yeah, 2 attackers. Oh, on 1 charge.
Okay, so let's have a look.
So we've got 2 heavy attackers on the red team. No shield across the board. Still with a lot of pressure, but the first point.
Nice high charge rate from one of the players there on the red team, player 1. Presumably trying to get some shots down range to keep the Mongooses moving. 3 points on the board for Warpstar already. Mongooses, can they tie it up? Yes. I'm expecting Dan in Mongooses, if this keeps going, to just push the front line in a minute. Yeah, because I was about to say player 4, I think I'm talking about. If not, there we go. Exactly what I was saying. He'll push forwards because he wants to try and get some points back for his team. He's a good shot. But look at that. A flurry of shots coming out of Warpstar. Just immediately annihilated his shields and knocked him out. That's really good play. That's really good teamwork. Dan switching to the far side, getting a switch over. It's a minor thing switching sides, but effectively it can really confuse your opponents, as it is showing here. Mongoose is starting to pull it back. They just need to get 3 more points. And with 3 players on the pitch, they can turn it over literally in a heartbeat. Go on, you can do it, Mongooses. Oh, starting to pull it back. Okay, so my question is, who out of these 2 teams are you wanting to play? Or are you more worried about playing?
If I can quickly mention something, player 4 and player 5 there, both got 1 bomb on Warpstar there. I'm not sure who it was, but it was a critical hit.
Okay.
Which is taking our 4 life markers out.
So it's a good shot, basically.
It's a really good shot, actually, which is really good.
Cool.
However, red team taking on the whole leaderboard there.
I was about to say, red player 3, 66% accuracy, 5 knockouts, definitely their best shot. He's got speed 4, scale 4, so he's got very fast, big orbs, but he's not firing very many of them, so it's like an assassin build.
Yes, you have to hit. Especially,
okay.
There are a few players that definitely do that now, especially the younger teams that are coming through. They don't need that much charge because they are so accurate.
Yep.
They slow down, they don't just spam fire, they think before they shoot, and it hits.
So I think the other thing is, the advantage of having lots of different people on different charge rates is it is very confusing when you're coming against it, because you don't know how fast the orbs that are coming at you are travelling.
Yes.
And it can be confusing because there's just so much stuff in your vision that you don't spot the one that's going to knock you out.
Yeah, no, that's correct. Yeah, especially when they're different sizes, different speeds, different amounts.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Okay, so what do you reckon they will do to try and counter it? Do you reckon Mongooses will change the tactic, or do you think they'll stick with it and just go for a straight shootout again?
I feel like they might add some shields in.
Okay.
To Mongoose's team, the blue team, they might add some shields, because if they did the same tactic again, they could lose, but they could also win.
Okay, here we go, back to the court. He was trying to, so I think what Dan was trying to do was, before the game even started there, was trying to work out what the other team had, so he taunt them into shooting at him. But here we go.
No shield.
No shields, so straight shootout again.
It's impressive.
Let's see what happens.
You can see Alex there
but he seems quite agile. So changing height like that is a very effective way in this sport to avoid getting hit, because any shots that are fired at him when he's crouched will go into the floor and not hit any of his teammates behind him. So by drawing that far at the front, he's doing really well. And the thing is, if you ignore him, he can just move to a corner and start shooting you. So some really good play coming out of the red team at the moment.
You do need a stronger player on the mongooses to get on that strong player in the red team. Picking up that, which is great.
Now the question is, are the mongooses going to be able to push forwards? Because they're going to need to take some of the ground and get some of those knockouts. There you go. Okay, so they've started to get a hang. There we go. So as soon as that front player went down, Dan pushed the front line, managed to get a knockout. Dan is happier when he's on the front. This is it. Mongoose is starting to pull back. Can they get that shield down quick enough though? Alex pushed forward against the front line to counter the mongooses. Dan's just been knocked out. And again, someone just got him a brilliant knockout there. They literally one-shot Dan as soon as he respawned. So what they would have probably done is count it to 3 and then shot again as he come back in.
It was close, but you can see...
It was close. Well played.
They just took off and got lots of kills. I've been playing before, dying there 4 times on a shot.
I was about to say, points spread evenly across the mongooses, all of them getting some knockouts. On the Reds team, so Warp Star, mostly 2 players getting the knockouts, but again, I suspect that's because the third player is firing so many shots to focus on getting shields down and keeping people moving that it enables the other 2 to get brilliant knockouts. So what we'll try and do is grab one of the teams that have just finished to grab an interview. Do you want to go and grab somebody that's sensible?
Someone, yes.
Yeah, send me somebody to talk to.
Do you want the wing team or the
Whoever. Somebody you think's sensible. Dealer's choice. So Ash there is a very, very experienced player. Will be travelling out to China as part of the UK team. I might have just got an interviewee. Have a seat. Pull up a pew. How are you doing?
Honestly, feel like we work very hard.
Yep.
We knew Warp Star were going to be tough going into it.
Yep.
That's what we came up with. Obviously, it did not work anywhere near as well as you hoped they were going to.
So, did you think they were going to do any kind of shield tactics or anything, or did you think that they were going to go for a shootout like they did?
I thought it was going to be a shootout.
Yeah.
Okay, historically, we haven't. Historically, they haven't really used shield against us previously, so we didn't think they were going to do it going into this game.
I'm with you. Yeah.
Historically, we thought Alex was always going to be the one to keep an eye out.
Okay.
Because he moves
well.
more than anybody else on the team. So he is the hardest one for us to hit.
It was that I said in the second game, it's a catch-22 because he pushed the front line at the start, and if you ignored him, he could just move to a corner to shoot you.
Yeah.
And if you leave him there, like he's going to dodge, and he's drawing a lot of fill fire. And if he manages to dodge it, you're in a bit of a catch-22. So I think there was a key moment when he got knocked out one time, and it allowed Dan to push up, and that was the best chance you had to kind of recover, and you got some points back. But then again, they rallied, pushed you back, and did a really good job.
I feel like overall we did better in the second game.
Yeah.
It is just unfortunate that Dan got found for points as much as he did. So
I'm with you.
He couldn't.
He got very unlucky at one point. I saw a knockout knock him out literally immediately upon respawn, which is never good.
So Dan couldn't get his own shots into there because he was knocked out for as much as he was, which was a massive detriment. When we thought, all right, we've got a
chance.
Second game.
That's fair.
A bit more knowledge, and it didn't pan out. Warp Star,
Who are you looking forward to playing later? Or I suppose you're not sure yet who's in your group.
who our next game will be.
Okay.
Say that now.
Yeah. You don't want to give anything away. Yeah. I think we're nearly good to get going. So thank you very much for your time. Enjoy the rest of the day. We'll speak in later. Here we go. Hi. We're on to another game. Give me a second. In fact, what we'll do. Alex. It's going to be a Team No on the red team versus Devour on the blue team. Who do you think's going to win this? Okay, so you think Team No, but you want Devourers. So at the minute, I think it looks like Team No has taken the lead, so they're 2 up, 2-0. So it looks like a straight shootout. I don't see any shields coming out of either of the teams. Do you think that's a mistake? Do you think shields has been a good idea, or do you think shootout's the way forward? I'm with you. Okay, well, Devara's getting some points back on the board there, so they're not completely out of it yet. Great shield going up from the blue team, sticking up in the middle, taking some ground, but the red team immediately just push to the front line. They're not letting them take the front line. They're holding it themselves. They want to get these knockouts. Lovely bit of play coming out of the red team. Blue team trying to push forwards to get some space. We've only got 20 seconds left. There's 8-3. The Devaras need to try and pull some points back, and they do it. 9-4. So watching this game, do you reckon Devaras should change their tactics for the next game? Or stick with what they're doing? There might stand a chance, okay. 6 kills, not bad at all. Well played. Okay, so player 1 on the red team there for Team No being the best shot. Can we identify who that is? I'm not sure which one it is, but that's the player to watch. Alfie, okay. Is he a threat when you play against them?
Quite simple way
Yeah.
that we used to beat them is if you can kill him early.
So focus Alfie, who's one of the better shots, keep him out of the game. That makes sense.
Kill him a few times early,
Yeah,
he'll start like not trying.
right. So he gets frustrated effectively. Okay,
And then it's easier to deal with.
fair. Fair. I'm loving the fact that Devourer on the right there, just super energized, jumping up and down, keeping their energies levels up. That is not how I used to play. I used to be very tired in between rounds and lying on the floor trying to have a nap. Right, so here we go. We're coming up to the second game. Now, it is a knockout, but fundamentally, if Devourer do not turn it around and they lose this game, then they're going to be knocked down to the second set of quarter-finals, semi-finals, sorry. So here we go, 30 seconds till they start. So do you reckon that they've changed their tactic, or do you reckon they've stuck with
They might have
it to a shield?
but
If Devourer is going to do a shield, who do you reckon is going to do it? What's your guess? Not sure. Okay. Right, okay. He's good at doing it as well.
I don't think Alistair will do it.
Alright, well,
Like them.
oh, I mean, he's the main shot. We'll find out quite quick. It doesn't look like they've done shields. I don't want to shout that too loud because I don't want to give it away to the people on the court. So it looks like it's going to be a straight shootout again. So here we go, 80 seconds on the clock. Team No versus Team Devourer. So some concentrated fire coming out of Team No there onto the left-hand player on Team Devourer. Looking for basically, if you team up on somebody, it's easier to knock them out. In fact, you've got multiple shots coming from multiple angles. It makes it difficult for them to dodge it. I'm noticing there's some very large orbs coming out of Team No. Is that a common thing that they do? So is the downside here, if they have low charge rate, a shield can really mess with them. So if you spot that they're going to do that, would you guys put a shield up, or would you just still have a straight shoot out with them? Makes sense. Yeah, because if they've got a low charge, like, they've only got 5 points of charge total, so if you've got 5 shields and you can put that up, that could actually cancel that quite well. So I think they felt quite confident that the other team weren't going to do shields for this battle. But here we go, it's quite a confident lead here, 10-2 with only 10 seconds left. So it looks like Team No is going to be the victors in this game. But well played by Devourer, getting some good points on the board against a very tough opponent. Well played both teams. Right, well, thank you very much for your assistance in the commentary. Are you looking forward to the rest of the day? Who are you looking forward to playing next? Or who are you least looking forward to playing?
Well, we're playing Team No next,
Okay.
and that's going to be interesting.
Do you think you're going to win?
I think
Or could it go either way?
good chance of winning.
I'm hearing the rest of the team saying, of course we're going to win. Okay,
We have a good chance of winning, but we definitely have to take it seriously.
that's fair, that's fair. All right, well, thank you very much. I'm gonna see if I can grab one of the other teams, but thank you very much. Good luck, and I shall see you again later. Here we go, I've just motioned. We've got an expert coming to join us in the hot seat. Just remind me your name?
Alfie.
Alfie. Sit forward, Alfie, so we can hear you. So, how did that go for you?
It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Two different.
W- In the second round there, I noticed, I don't know if you did the same stats in the first round, but in the second round, I noticed you only had like a total of 5 charge across your whole team. Were you pretty confident they weren't going to do shields?
Yeah, they're not a very shielding team, but we still feel we could deal with it if we still have a charge.
Oh, we do, yeah. So you were pretty confident you'd go around them or something like that if you needed to. Who are you least looking forward to playing out of the rest of the teams that are on the court? So I think you might end up in the same bracket as potentially Warp Star and Synergy, and I think maybe Agents of HADO. So who out of that lot are you least looking forward to playing?
Probably Synergy because they're the best team. We
Okay.
just can't seem to beat Warpstar, so maybe yeah.
Warp Star were just in here, they helped me commentate your game, and they were saying nice things about you, but they did also say confidently they think that they can beat you. So one of them said it could go either way, and the others went, we think we'll win. But I think, based on watching both teams play, I think you stand a good chance of beating them.
Yeah, they did that.
Do you expect it to be a straight shootout in that? I mean, obviously, don't give away any tactics you don't want to give away, but no? Okay. Interesting. Okay, well, we'll take that as a prediction. Well, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for joining me, and hopefully you have a brilliant game against Warpstar later. And obviously, yeah, fingers crossed for you. Well played. No worries. Right, who have we got up next? Let's have a look. We've got, seemingly, Esports Wales is going to be on the red team, and they're going to be up against Wolfpack, who are going to be on the blue team. So this is one of the semi-finals in the lower bracket. So effectively, we're going through to 2 sets of semi-finals at this point. We're going to have the winners from the first 4 games are going to go into the sort of winning semi-final bracket to play off against for finals in their bracket, and then we're going to have the people who lost the first games into the second set of semi-finals, who are going to be playing off against each other. What this should hopefully mean is by the end of the tournament, we end up in a situation where we have a nice rank of like 8 teams, 1 to 8. So we've got some tech people playing around with some microphones in the background, so hopefully you've picked up some of what is being said, but there is a chance that you didn't, but fingers crossed. Suffice to say, all the guests we've had so far have been very interesting. So, what's my predictions? I'm not entirely sure. We're going to have Wolfpack. So, the Welsh team are going to be on red, in red shirts, and Wolfpack are going to be on blue. So blue team do have a shielder with 5 shields. I'm guessing it might be Mikey, but I'm not 100%. Yeah, it's going to be Mikey. So that's the team player closest to us on the blue side, on the right-hand side there. You can tell from the fact that his orbs are quite small, which means he's put his points elsewhere. So I'm expecting that in a minute he's going to push to the front line and start putting some shields down to help his teammates. There we go. And he's going to hit one of his teammates gets behind it to take advantage of it. Okay, Wolfpack taking advantage, 3-1. Esports Wales need to start dealing with those shields. They've got 2 choices. They can knock them down through overwhelming firepower, or they can move up to the court to shoot around them. Both are valid tactics. Wolfpack able to keep the lead 4-2, even though they've not got their shields up, which is a good sign that they've got some good accuracy and dodging going up against Esports Wales, and Esports are finding it difficult to get the shots off on target. Good push there from that Welsh player, however. That's it, be more aggressive, pushing the front line. That's what they need to do at this point. There's only 20 seconds left and they need to start getting some knockouts. But Wolfpack, dealing with it well, just staying calm, keeping dodging, keeping it cool. Mikey got knocked out on the way forwards. That's a really good play from the Welsh team, because what that means is he's not been able to put his shield up, which buys some more points for the Welsh team, but it's not enough. 2 seconds remaining. 1. First round goes to Wolfpack. Well played both teams. See there, player 4 and Wolfpack getting 6 knockout points. If I was Team Wales, I'd be paying attention to that and working out who player 4 is in order to try and knock that player out, in order for them to not get knockouts. Now the question is Wolfpack going to stick with the same tactic, doing shields again, or are they going to change things up? We shall see. Esports Wales there doing an excellent job, staying cool, and there's some good aggression at one point as well, where they realised, look, we need to get some points back, and they all just pushed to the front. Again, no shields coming out of, particularly coming out of the Welsh team. They only had 1 point each, but still quite a close game, 5-8. The key thing I think that Wolfpack did well is once you take the lead using those shields, you really psychologically want to keep that lead. So even when you've not got shields there, if you're able to keep that point advantage, you stand a very good chance of beating the opposition. Okay, not long left. Again, we generally try and keep it to about 100 seconds between rounds. The reasoning for that is just gives them enough time to reset their stats, give them a bit of a breather, but not enough that they can completely recover from the energy of running around for the previous 80 seconds. Bear with me just a moment. Sorry, I'm just pointing something out to my tech team. One of the TVs is trying to turn off, which would be a problem because it's the main TV that I'm using to watch the games. So it'd be awkward for me not to be able to see what's going on. But we've got 10 seconds to the start of this next game. So, question is, so Mikey there is not firing any shots, so I'm feeling like he might be still doing shields. Generally, you don't want to give away beforehand what is going on the screen. So if you fire your shots, the enemy team can see before the start. But here we go, 80 seconds on the clock. Let's see what they do. So, point on the board straight away for the Welsh esports team. We managed to knock Mikey out. Mikey is doing shields. I've seen the fact that he's got a low energy orb. And he's managed to put his shield up at the front there. But Welsh team doing an absolute volley onto those shields, trying to get them down. They don't want to give them a position to hide behind. Excellent work for the Welsh team to knock that shield out. And it means that they've kept the lead. Wolfpack trying to push forward again, get another shield up, want to get the point lead, but they haven't got it. Again, excellent work here from the Welsh team, just keeping those shields down. But Wolfpack responding, managed to get some knockouts without even their shields up. This is the point where the shields are down, where you would expect the Welsh team to be taking advantage, but no. Brilliant work there from Mikey getting a shield up for his teammate. Wolfpack start to take the advantage. Welsh team need to not forget that they need to take those shields down. They were doing such a good job at the start, but now they're trying to shoot around it. They just need to focus fire that shield, get it out of the way. Interesting fact, the longer the shield is up, the weaker it becomes. So it does slowly degrade over time as well. So close, only 1 point in it. Esports Wales doing an excellent job. But Wolfpack managing to remain cool under pressure. Some handshakes going on the court there. Genuinely brilliant play from both teams. The Welsh team in that second game did a textbook example of just like focus firing shields down. I think the point where it turned for them is they got a bit obsessed with trying to get knockouts around the shield for the final shields. If they'd have stayed focused on the shields, I think they'd have stood a better chance. But well played for both teams. Again, 64 shots used by player 2 on the red team there, which is absolutely amazing. We're going to grab one of Team Wales or the Esports Wales team over. Have a pew, pull up a pew.
I'm going to need the rest of it.
Is it Ewan?
Yes.
I think, have we met before? I'm not sure if you were playing last year when we did the thing, but well, there you go. So, thank you for joining us. How was that game?
Good. I mean, for us, I think it's all about benchmarking.
Yeah.
So forgive me to get my rep back.
That's fine.
You know, we don't get to be here as much as a lot of the other teams like you.
Yeah.
So, preparing for Shanghai, we're really pushing ourselves as hard as we can.
I'm with you.
And yeah, really proud of the boys, honestly. Like we're really seeing tangible differences.
I was going to say, one of the things that I saw that was really good was in that second game, because obviously the first game they put shields up, you were working around and trying to work out how to deal with it. In the second game, the bit that I really appreciated was there was a really good focus fire going on the shields to knock them down really quickly. I think if I had one criticism, it was in the final shield that went up. Yeah. I think you guys were trying to focus on getting knockouts. Yeah, didn't take the shield down, it caused a problem. But before that, I was like, you guys are going to do a really good job here and potentially win that round. So. Who are you looking forward to least playing then in this tournament that you've got coming up?
I think we've got that out of the way. I think it would be in Synergy.
Yeah, I was about to say, you got a tough start by playing Team Synergy.
My heart because it's just I want to beat Ash so much. So yeah, it's tough. But you know, I think we just love it, to be honest. We love being here.
Going back to that first game against Synergy, actually, because I think I called it. Did you target Ash at the start? Because it felt like he basically got shot at to try. I'm guessing to nullify him a bit. Or?
I think Ash probably played in a way that made us target him.
Right.
There was a lot of aggressive mid pushes, especially from him specifically. And it's something we're getting much better at is our mid game sort of game sense.
Yeah.
And adjusting to things like that. And to be honest, it's about us keeping it close against the teams we're trying to lose. You know, it might sound silly, but damage limitation to us is everything.
Yeah.
For my boys, we've played those guys multiple times now that we've played. We've gone nowhere near them.
I'm with you.
So to be 1 point off right.
Oh, it was so close.
It's something to be really proud of and really excited, genuinely.
I was about to say, I'm looking forward to seeing you in Shanghai because I'm right in saying, obviously, the Welsh team is going out there. Am I right in saying, sorry, a bit of a sub thing that somebody told me earlier? Am I right in saying that you are also very good at another computer game?
I was Rocket League,
Was it a gold medalist in the Commonwealth for Rocket League? Okay. I know this is going to sound like a stupid question because obviously this is a sport, but it is also a kind of an e-sport. Do you see the advantage of gamers effectively playing something like this over someone who comes from a sporting background?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the one thing you'll get with gamers, especially competitive gamers, is the ability to pick up on things really quickly.
Yeah.
So our team's been generally quite stretched for Shanghai.
Yeah.
For myself, this is the third time I've been up here. It's my
Yeah,
third
yeah.
experience playing the game. For Durbin, who's with me as well, it's only his second, third experience playing the game.
I'm with you, yeah.
And the only reason I picked him to come with us
Yeah.
is because he loves the sport, he's got fitness,
I'm
but
with
also
you.
more importantly, he's a gamer. They can understand how to pick up things really quickly. So
Yeah.
it's definitely an impactful process.
I was about to say, when I played years ago, it was gamers were the quickest to pick the sport up.
Yeah, definitely.
Longer term, people who played in the sport might be fitter, would do potentially better, but they took longer to get to that point.
Yeah.
Whereas, gamers pick up their heads-up display and all that sort of stuff straight away.
Yeah. For us, we actually had this debate about who we thought would be like throw someone into it.
Yeah.
A game or a sportsman, whatever it may be. I think my choice was always a racing driver.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. Yeah.
I think I think for me, the mix between the two, I absolutely adore.
Oh, 100%.
Being a professional gamer in Rocket League, that was like an 8-year career for me, where I had to drop a lot of regular sports.
Yeah.
Into this and how the physical aspect and everything is amazing.
Brilliant. Right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
No worries. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll look forward to seeing you play later. Right, who have we got up next? It's going to be the Fighting Mongooses in the red team versus, I believe, is Devoura on the blue team. Hello, do you want to join me? You can help me co-commentate. Just remind me your name. You can help me commentate this game. What was your name again? Nathan. So, Nathan, just remind me, which team are you on? Team No, is that? Which team?
That would just be.
Oh, who are you with? Oh, you're with Wolfpack. Sorry, I can see it from shirt. Ignore me. I completely didn't see it. Right, so who do you think's going to win out of Mongooses and Devour on blue? What's your bet?
Devourers are gonna make it an upset.
You think Devour's going to win? Okay, well in that case, I've got to back Mongooses because they're older and I feel old, so therefore I'll back that. You bet the younger team, I'll back the older team. So, what do you reckon tactics-wise is going to happen? Do you reckon anyone's going to do a shield play? Do you think they're just going to straight shoot out?
The guy in the blue,
Yeah.
Devourers, he's got shields, I think.
Oh, you reckon there's going to be a shield coming out the guy on blue on blue team?
Never mind.
Oh no, you're wrong. Okay, so no shield, so it looks like it's going to be a straight shootout. Okay, so here we go, Mongooses versus Team Devour. Straight away, a point on the board for Devour. Dan from Mongooses pushing the front line, looking for those knockouts.
He's on one though.
He is on one. Now that makes it easier to knock him out, but also more difficult to knock him out because it's easier for him to dodge the petals. Would you target somebody like that, or and knock him out? I mean, that's what's just happened. He's just got knocked out. So, can he stay there though? Dan is a very aggressive player, sitting on the front line. It's working out so far. We've got 3 knockouts to red and 4 to blue. Nothing crazy tactics-wise coming out here. It looks literally like a straight shootout. There's no shields being thrown around. There's no people running around in crazy patterns. I think. Oh, you think he should pull back? So that's fair. He is getting a bit obsessed, but he's tied it up 5-all. I don't disagree with you that he might want to push back there. Nice shield coming out of the blue player there, pushing up to the front right corner. Means he's had to push Dan back. Lovely dodging as well. I can't tell which player that is. I think it's player 6, but I'm not entirely sure. Whoever it is on the far side of the court. Here we go. We've got some view from the player on Mongooses. So this is what they can see, where you can see their crosshairs. Lovely work from Team Devour there, taking the first match. Your prediction was right. Okay, let's see who takes the next match. Can Mongooses turn it around? I'm going to say that they can because I want to keep backing the older team.
I think Devourers are gonna smash them this time.
Oh, you think because they've took the first round, they're going to feel confident?
They've got the momentum.
Okay, I'm with you. Who would you rather face out of these two teams?
I don't really mind.
You don't mind? You reckon you beat both?
I'm not going to say that.
You know. Who are you least looking forward to playing today? Who's the team that you think?
If we won every game, who would we not want to play?
Yeah.
Synergy.
Okay.
They've
That's
won
fair.
2 tournaments out of 3.
They're the name that keeps coming up as the favourites for today.
Yeah.
Which is deserved. They are a very good team. They've been playing for a long time.
Yeah, definitely so.
So, obviously, I don't want to go too much into details of tactics in upcoming games. But if you were playing the teams then with a straight shootout, would you just choose to have a straight shootout with them, or would you go shields, or what would you try and do to beat them?
I would go assassin.
Okay.
Daniel would
Yep.
go technician and Mikey would go shields.
I'm with you.
That's what
You
we
guys,
normally have.
I was about to say, Mikey was doing some good jobs with putting some shields up earlier, and I'm presuming you're the ideal player to get behind those shields then if you're playing assassin, because you can push forward and try and get some knockouts.
Yeah. I
Right,
can play
right.
without shields, so
Yeah.
it's better with shields.
I mean, it makes it easier because you're not getting knocked out so much.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got 20 seconds coming into this next game. So you still backing your prediction that Devara's going to win this round?
Yeah, they're gonna smash them 5-1.
Okay. I'm gonna go stick with my guns that Mongooses are going to do well here. We'll see if they change up their tactics at all. I'm not convinced they will. I think it'll be just a straight shootout.
I think Blue have gone shields.
Okay, we
Blue
shall
guys
see.
gone shields again.
It would confuse the other team.
Never mind.
All right, here we go.
The shootout, I think.
Okay, so we've got a technical issue here because there's one player missing from red. So we'll almost certainly stop the game because there's somebody who's not logged in. It's poor old Dan. Oh, here we go. Are they continuing? We look like we might continue. Tough times. Right, which means that it's almost 100% that Devara's going to win because it's 2v3. That being said, it's sometimes easier to play 2v3 because you've got more targets to shoot at and they've got less. But it does mean you've got some of the points off the board. So I think what happened there is Dan unfortunately is having an issue getting logged in before the start of the game, leading to him not being ready at the start. Right, so red team doing the best they can with the 2v3 situation, but it's probably going to go to Devara here. Devara absolutely just taking advantage of their situation. No, I think they might keep it. I think the refs are trying to be strict on having 100 seconds between games. There is a tech person having a chat with the person who had an issue to see if there was some kind of a technical issue or if it was just a human error failure.
In the second half, they could win. They could bring it back.
Oh, 100%. I was about to say, Dan is also one of their better shots, so frustrating there for the Mongooses. But that's it, 11-1. Well played, both teams. We shall find out in a minute if there's a decision to do a replay or not. I will find out.
We're playing the winner of this.
You're playing the winner of this, you reckon?
Final.
Okay, it looks like we're keeping the score. So at the minute, I suspect that is a final game, and it was deemed to be a human error rather than a technical error of any kind. Right, well, thank you for helping me do the commentary. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully you do well in your later games, and good luck to you. Thank you very much. Right, let me see if I can grab one of the team who've just come out of that. Ideally, I could grab with one of the team Devara. Could you? Oh, they're doing a rematch. Oh, okay, we're getting a rematch. Is that right? Okay, there is a rematch. So, you can commentate. Yeah, come sit down. What was your name again? Daniel, thank you for joining me. And you're in Wolfpack as well. All right, so who do you think's going to win? We've seen multiple games, but Dan's now back in, so we're going to have a 3-on-3. Do you reckon Devara or Mongooses? Okay. You reckon they're going to just throw themselves into it? Do you reckon there's going to be a change of tactics? Do you reckon there's going to be some shields coming out, or do you think it's going to be a straight shootout again? Yep. Okay. Just absolutely go for like firepower. Yep. Okay, which one's Alistair? This is in the
one to the far right.
Devara, far right. The one who's currently dancing like an absolute lunatic. I love the energy. You got to give Devara credit. They are definitely up for a shootout. Again, there seems to be some technical delays coming out of some of the players on the pitch, but we should be getting started soon. I'm with you. So the Mongooses, you feel that you could probably get knockouts easier on. Okay. Who do you reckon technically is more savvy when it comes to like dealing with shields and all that sort of stuff? Mongooses. I was about to say they've been around, they're quite experienced. All right, here we go. Fair. All right, so it doesn't look like anyone's taking any shields, so this is going to be a straight shootout again. So 8 seconds on the clock, here we go. Can the Mongooses pull it back and have an upset? Bit of focused fire there going in on the middle player. They seem to be ignoring the player that you were warning about. One to three. Little shield going out there from the blue team. But there you go. Mongoose has managed to knock out the player on the right-hand side. It's starting to pull it forwards. If they can keep up this momentum, 4-4. This is a close game. Come on, Mongooses, you can do it. 4-5. Nice bit of movement from the blue team, though. They're pushing forwards, taking a shield position, trying to draw fire at the front. Mongooses countering straight away, pushing forward, trying to get to the same position. Tim needs to not hang around there for too long, and he steps out almost ideally. That's true. I was about to say 2 points, 3 points in it, still quite close. But I was about to say it's looking towards Devara. The thing is, there's 3 points on the board at any one particular time, so all it will take is a quick 1, 2, 3, and you're back in it. Dan pushing the front line there, trying to be aggressive. Getting some good knockouts, but not enough. Well played. Really close game. All right, well, thank you very much for commentating with me. Enjoy the rest of your day. Good luck with the rest of your games.
And you.
Thank you very much. I will try and grab one of the other teams that have just played and get them in. We shall see who we manage to grab. But that was actually a close game. I'm trying to work out who's going to be playing next, but I'll call it out once I see it on the court. I'm looking at some of the stats coming out of that. Some really good accuracy. Oh wow, okay, so I've just been given the nod. The next game up is going to be part of the top bracket. It's going to be Synergy versus Agents of HADO. So as you've heard from a few teams today, Synergy are potentially the favourites for the tournament. Again, I will see if I can grab any of the teammates from Team Devourer, but it looks like they're all disappearing off, so I won't get anyone. Oh. Okay, so this is going to be a good game next. Synergy, Agents of HADO. So in Synergy, you've got two of the players that are representing the UK in China, and then in Agents of HADO, you've got another player that's representing the English team in China. So far, you've got some very good players coming in. Here we go. We've managed to grab an interview. Dan.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Tired and losingly.
Fair. Did you expect them to do a straight shootout with you, or were you expecting them to do shields or anything like that?
We were expecting pretty much a straight shootout, probably a little higher charge rate than they actually used, but the shots that they fired were pressure without the volume, so certainly felt like there was a volume in the first game especially.
What I would say about that game, watching it, and again I didn't commentate it too much on the time, but what I love is that there was a lot of backs and forwards on the front line, and what I mean by that is they were doing smart stuff to push you off the front line. So at one point one of them pushed forward, put a shield up, knocks you back, you had to pull back. But then as soon as he fell back, because his shield went down, your team pushed forwards and took the front line. So of all the games we've seen today, I'd say that those series of games are probably the most dynamic from taking the whole court. Is that something you feel that you're good at, or?
Generally, yes. I didn't know Devourers were as good at controlling the pace of the court as they apparently are, because that's usually one of the areas where we've been able to outplay people.
I'm with you,
We're dictating the pace if we decide when we fall back and forward.
I'm with you,
There we were reacting a lot more.
Yeah.
Taking the opportunities where we could.
Oh, 100%.
But sometimes that opportunity is maybe you'll live a second if you fall back.
How off-putting was it, the overwhelming joy and energy that they seemed to be putting out? Because literally between games they were dancing, which I felt was a bit potentially off-putting for your team. Were you all right with that?
Probably because we've been around so long, but we love seeing people enjoying themselves at HADO,
100%.
and they absolutely were enjoying themselves at HADO, which I think is the reason why they said yes for the rematch in the first place. One, it's an extra game of HADO.
Fair.
They love playing HADO. And two, they wanted an actual real
match
victory rather than 2v3. Yes, it's some
doable,
people say it's loaded one way or another, but unexpectedly it certainly is a detriment to the
100%.
two-player side. And they just wanted to win.
I think at this level, a 2v3 is really tough. Like if you have one really good player against three who is expecting it, it can be. It can actually be in the favour of the one. Yes. But in this situation where it's like everyone on your team, everyone on their team can shoot accurately, all of a sudden going to a 2v3 is really off-putting, and it's tricky because you don't have as many shots. Who do you think is going to win it out of this upcoming game? So we've got Synergy is going to be on the red team, and we've got
Agents of
HADO on the blue team.
Yeah.
Who's your money on?
Smart money would be on Synergy.
Okay, yeah, that's it.
But Agents of HADO have pretty consistently just done better than expected.
Okay.
Whatever
there
I
could
go
be
in
an
expecting from Agents of HADO, they do better than that.
So there could just be an upset, basically.
There could be an absolute upset here.
All right, well, do you want to hang out and help me commentate and see what happens?
Absolutely.
All right, so here we go. We've got Synergy on team red team, and then we've got Agents of HADO on the blue team.
I suspect you'll see Shemai moving up front relatively quickly in this one, unless Ash decides to dictate the pace.
There we go, so Ash is good call. Okay, but lots of rounds coming at him, but they didn't.
Yeah, they forced him straight back, which I don't think, judging by his approach, was his initial plan.
Yeah.
So they're forcing him to adapt pretty quickly, which is good.
But they're managing to do it.
Fabian's taking some of the heat up front.
I was about to say, Fabian is a player that seems to be willing to be quite aggressive on the front line as well. So you've got Synergy all willing to basically push forward if they need to.
Fabian's played, I think, maybe 3 other tournaments with them so far.
Yeah.
The newest member of Synergy. And the biggest compliment I paid him after the first one was he didn't stand out on Synergy.
Yeah, which is amazing because the other 2 players are really good, right?
They're really good. For a relative newcomer
Yeah.
to not stand out
To keep up with them,
particularly
yeah.
terrible. What he said, just hold it up. Absolutely stunning.
What I would say is Agents of HADO here, like keeping it low scoring and still being a threat. Like they've just got a knockout, and although the pace has kind of been slow in this one, I don't feel that Synergy felt overly confident during the first half of that game.
You'll see that they moved much more up when they were pretty sure they were going
Yeah.
to win, to try and get the extra points in, just because I say 10-1 feels a lot better than a 6-1.
Yeah.
Particularly after a long match where, as you can see, over on the court now, both Ash and Shemai clearly a bit out of
Yeah, I literally saw the same thing. The Shemai leaning against the wall there, having a breather.
which is good to see.
Cool. So, looking at the stats-wise, again, that's a very low percentage from both teams on accuracy, which is a good sign that both teams are doing brilliant dodging.
Very even on the death spread across the blue team Agents of HADO as well.
Oh, 100%.
They all died twice, which means they were all dodging a heck of a lot of shots.
100%. For me, that felt, because often when you have a team, like Synergy's good, right? And I would have said that they're the favourite going into the match. Often you'll see them be much more aggressive than that. I feel that they actively weren't because they were nervous about getting knocked out. Not because they were sort of taking it easy, if that makes sense.
Yes, and I think Ash's initial approach about 5 seconds in is exactly that. Them trying to take control, set the pace at their own mark, and being immediately forced back.
Yeah.
Fabian had a bit more success on the left side, but perhaps that's because that's not the side they were expecting it from, so it took them a second to recover.
Fair.
Or maybe just that's not what they were expecting to happen then at all.
Do you think there'll be any tactics changes to the second game? Do you think anyone will use shields, or do you think they're just going to go straight shoot out again?
That's an interesting question. I think there is a chance Shemai goes shields, and if so, I think Agents of HADO will probably come out on top.
Interesting. Okay, so if they do change it up. All right, well, let's see. Doesn't look like it.
Oh,
Looks like
we
the
have the
shields
shield
coming out of
of
Agents of HADO. Let's see how Synergy deal with it. I actually think that Synergy should deal with it quite well because they historically were very good at knocking shields down, but it'd be interesting to see. So immediately Synergy will work out that the shield's going on because the player that's shot is firing very small orbs, which gives away the fact that it's a shield. Absolute volley of shots coming in from Synergy on that shield.
Destroying the shields.
However, still not getting a knockout, but they will get through those shields. So if they can keep it going to the second half of the game, they should have the advantage.
Yeah, 1-1. If they can come out 1 point up, they might have a good chance. But shooting-wise, Synergy are probably slightly the favoured. I don't. There's still a shield left in the tank.
There is.
I do think I would have already dropped that myself.
Okay, so 30 seconds left. Now, there's 1 point in the lead for the blue team, but Synergy should have the advantage. But, that being said, Synergy maybe are going to crumble under pressure. Maybe they're not used to this sort of thing. Saying that, Pyro is pushing
this
forward.
Has really taken me off guard. I didn't expect it to be so effective just that little change of pace. But
Synergy needs to remain calm and get some knockouts in the last. There we go. You can hear Shamai in the background there screaming away instructions to his team. It's getting tense. 1 second left. All they need to do is dodge. Really well played from Agents of HADO there.
I would say you absolutely have to call that an Agents of HADO game, because they completely controlled that until the last maybe 20 seconds at most.
The volume that Shamai goes to is an indication of his panic. Yes. And that was a Shamai volume probably about an 8 or a 9 out of 10. I've heard him be louder, but definitely he was a bit worried there.
Absolutely. So I will vacate this spot so you can get another
Cheers, thank you very much.
in.
Absolutely pleasure, Dan. Look forward to the rest of the game for you, mate. So, exciting game there between Synergy and Agents of HADO. Agents of HADO literally taking it to... I mean, my heart was going there. I genuinely thought that Agents of HADO were going to beat Synergy there in a bit of a mix-up. Hello, pull up a queue. Remind me your name? Rohan. So, Rohan, that was super close. I genuinely was on the edge of my seat thinking that you were about to take that second game. What went wrong? What went well? What was the plan?
I mean, the first game we were planning on not going shields, because last time we played against them we went shields and we never go shields.
Okay.
So we wanted them to have technicians or we didn't have any shields.
I'm with you.
And then the second game we were planning to do the exact same thing.
Right.
Because I thought that they would think we were going to go shields in the second game.
Okay.
But because we got hammered on the first game, I thought we needed shields.
Fair.
So we went shields on the second game despite their technicians.
All I'm going to say is I think you panicked them, because Shamai on their team, normally the volume he goes to is the level of how much panic he's got.
Yeah.
And he was definitely being very loud. So there was definitely a moment where I think you got them a bit tilted. What do you think caused them to be able to win? Because I felt that Pyro then pushed forwards, so Ash pushed forwards. Is there a person on their team that's like a particular threat to you that you wanted to target and knock out, or are they all kind of equally good?
I don't really know. I mean, I think Ash and Shamai are probably better at dodging.
Yeah.
Shamai is particularly hard to hit, I think.
Yeah.
But they both went technician.
Okay.
Because they can shoot a lot of bullets.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Fabian probably would have been easiest to get to die to.
I was about to say, the downside, I suppose, of them going technicians is that they were able to knock your shields down quite quick.
Yeah.
Am I right in saying, Rohan, that you are part of the people that are going out to Shanghai in the not too distant future to represent the UK?
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. How long have you... Oh, hang on, we're about to have a game. You can help me contact. So here we go. We're going to have Warp Star. He's going to be on red versus... Who we got on the side? Team No, thank you. On blue. Right, so here we go for this first out of 3 games. Who do you reckon is going to win out of these two teams?
Team No, because Alfie and Lucas are very good at the game.
Okay.
They're also going to Shanghai in May. Alfie is particularly hard to hit.
That's fair.
So is Alex, but I think Amber normally goes shields. I think she's going to shield him this game.
I'm with you. Okay, so I mean, there's only 1 point on the board and we're about 30 seconds in. Tied it 1-1. This could go either way. Blue team remaining nice and cool under pressure. They've used that shield to take some advantage. Team No still got 3 shields in the bank, but there's 5 shields on the red team that need to start getting used. There's 30 seconds left and they've not used any of their shields. So player 1 on the red team needs to start using some of those shields. She's got her arm down, she's trying to get the shields up, but it might be too late. She's also struggling to get the shields up. There you go, nice shield up. I think a little bit late for those shields. There's 6 seconds left. Oh, we've tied it up, This could end up being in the favour of red team. Okay, so all those shields are going to get weak over the time. They might be able to just hide behind them and get a knockout. Was this, in fact, a genius play? Look at that absolute wall of shields. All they've got to do is get 1 knockout. Absolutely brilliant work by Team No there at the end. Staying cool under pressure. I would not have wanted to face an overtime with 5 shields in front of me. What about you?
I wouldn't either, but because they all stayed in that one spot behind the shields, what Lucas did is he shot behind the shields when they would have wanted to leave because
100%.
the shields were expiring.
Yeah.
So all three of them would have tried to come back when Lucas shot behind them.
So you're basically saying Lucas was an expert who took advantage of them doing a strategy that I actually feel there might have been luck in that strategy. I'm not sure that was what they were aiming for. I think the shields were brought in a little bit late from the red team. But it was a very close game either way, and we're going to go to the second match. Do you reckon they're going to do the same tactic? Do you reckon they're going to do shields again? Or do you reckon they'll change it up and go for a more straight shootout?
If Amber plays again, that means they're going to do shields, I think.
Okay, so is that the giveaway, that Amber plays, they're going to do shields?
Yeah, I think if Amber doesn't play and Ruben plays instead, then Ruben will probably go technician.
I'm with you. It looks like Amber's going to stay on, so I'm guessing that they are going to do shields. So now the question is, are Team No going to change anything up? Probably not. I think they did quite a good job of just working around it effectively. So I still think the advantage is probably with Team No here, but we shall see. All right, 20 seconds left. Have you got any tips to anyone on either team to how to win, based on what you just saw in that last game? Other than play better?
I don't know.
No, okay, that's fine. Also, don't give away all the tips because you got to save some information for like when you play them. So.
Of course, yeah.
All right, here we go. All right, so actually switch up. So blue team's taking shields, and red team I don't think have. So this is actually a bit of a mix-up. Slow start. Team No are trying to buy some time before they start using their shields. Some nice aggressive play coming out of the red team. Nice bit of a shield up there. Not one, so close. But I think the advantage is still going to be Team No because they've got a 1 point lead. They've still got their shields left. But there you go, pulling it back 1-1, 2-1. This could go either way. This could be our first game going to 3 rounds. I don't feel Team No are playing as well as they did in the first round. I feel like they might be a little bit nervous. There's only 20 seconds left in it, and it's still only tied score. Could be anyone's game. 15 seconds, we're going to get another overtime game. All he needs is 1 point from either team. 7 seconds left, all shields used there. So when you go to the overtime, the advantage should be in the red team. Okay, advantage is probably going to go to the red team in this if they can stay in, because the blue team have used up all their shields, which means they've got 2 shooters versus 3 shooters. This is very exciting. Here we go, overtime on. First knockout's going to win. Absolutely well played there by Team No. Cool under pressure. Red team pushed forward, they just knocked them straight out. Well, thank you very much for your help with commentary. Good luck with the rest of the day. I hope you do well. I'm going to see if I can grab one of the guys off one of these teams, but see you later. All right, there we go. Probably the closest game we've seen all day. But Team No able to stay cool and just pip it at the end. Ash has just run in for a moment. How you doing, Ash?
Wow.
That was close, right?
Wow. Can I honestly, because I've been speaking
give
to
a shout out, yeah.
I need to give a big shout out. In that game, I think it was that game, Reese, I think it was like his second shield, comes sliding across. Alex tried to kill him, we got his shield up, and it was incredible. Just
yep.
That sliding shield on Reese is something he doesn't do.
Okay.
That was really cool. Well done, Reese.
That was definitely one of the tensest, closest games that we've seen all day. I was about to say Team No were probably the favourites going in, but like it could have gone either way in that last game.
Warpstar should have won at least a game. I was expecting it to go to a third game. But Reese, from nowhere, well done.
I was about to say, it was an interesting one because one of the teams, we were just discussing it, was saying if Amber stayed in for the second game, they were definitely going to do shields, and then they didn't. So it was actually interesting for them to change it up as well, and it very nearly worked out for them. All right, so who's up next? We've got Esports Wales, who are going to be on the red team, versus the blue team, which is going to be Fire Mongooses. Who is your money on?
So this is for 7th and 8th place, right?
I will double check. What, 7th place player? So this is playing off to see who can be 7th placed or 8th placed.
I don't know.
I was about to say the experience is Mongooses, but
Wales have been training so
they
hard.
have. I might kick you out so I can get my man in here to give me a bit of an interview.
BRB.
Yeah, go work out who you think's going to win. Pull up a pew. Just remind me your name again.
Josh.
Josh. Pleased to meet you again. Right. You guys played absolutely amazing then. How did you feel that went? Shrug. So,
Pretty good. We were trying out something that we hadn't tried out before.
okay, what was that?
Shall I say?
Just say the name that you played it.
Sure. It's called Strategy 21.
Oh, you got numbers. Okay, brilliant. So
Only this one has numbers and it's related to the shot.
that's fair. So you tried shields obviously in the first game, and then moving into the second game, I had one of the other team players here, and they said if Amber stays in, it's going to be a shield play again, but it wasn't. So that I think threw off Team No. Team No actually, I felt in the second game there was definitely a point where they felt really nervous, like going into it. What I would say is in your first game, I'm not sure if it was intentional, but very late 5 shields went into an overtime was possibly one of the most tense overtimes that I've seen, of 2 teams opposite side of a large amount of shields.
Yeah.
Was that nerve-wracking?
Definitely, yes.
All right, here we go. You can help me commentate this. If you see anything good, shout it out. So we've got Welsh team Esports Wales here on the red team in red, and you've got Mongooses on blue on the right. Lots of shots coming out of Wales straight away, just being very aggressive. Dan just pushing to the front. So as you see there, Mongooses, Dan likes to just wander around the front of the court. Surprised he's not been knocked out yet, to be fair, but he dodges quite well for where he is. 2-all. Could go either way. I was about to say, and they focus fire him a lot there at the end. They definitely had all 3 of them shooting at him. We've got lots of people shouting from the sidelines trying to give him advice. Only 1 point in it. So close. And again, Dan's back on the front line. Thing is, if you leave him on the front line, he'll knock you out. But if he walks back and forwards and he's not easy to hit, what do you do? 3-all. Who would you target if you were the Welsh team right now?
At the back.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Change it up depending on the markers. So the thing is, I know often people are like, he's only got 1 shot left, you should target him. But obviously the downside of having 1 target left is that it's sometimes harder to hit it as well. 1 second left, so close. Mongooses staying calm under pressure, kept it going and pulled it out at the end. Esports Wales, do you reckon they'll change it up? Do you reckon they'll go for a straight shootout again? What do you reckon?
I think they'll probably go for another shootout.
Okay, cool. Dan's just sitting in the corner over one side, just chilling out, trying to get his breath back. He definitely used a lot of energy in that last game.
A great performance.
It was good. It was good. Who you got any more games? I don't know. How many have you played? Who are you up against next?
2. I don't know who.
You will have another game then. Who walks up next?
HADO walks off the plus playoff.
Oh.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
Okay. Who are you looking forward to? Have you got any strategies that you want to give away beforehand? Probably not, I'm guessing.
No.
Are you feeling confident? Yeah? Okay, we like it.
Yes, says Amber from HADO.
Sorry, that's my alarm going off in the background, telling me to wake up. 40 seconds. All right, so we've got 40 seconds left. Mongooses versus Esports Wales. I think that was actually a very close game. And I think there's an element of psychology going into this, that if Esports Wales managed to take an early lead, I think they could actually take the Mongooses. Because I feel that there's an element of the Mongooses just won, so they're feeling nervous.
I think
This is for 8th and 7th.
I think Esports Wales is good, but they need to push up more.
Be more aggressive to the front line, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need to be more at the front line and in their face to give Mongooses more pressure to deal with.
I agree with that, because Dan likes to be unpressured at the front. He likes to control the pressure. Like, immediately, he's just walked to the front before the game's even started to try and psychologically psych him out and take the ownership of the court.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you can't leave him there, but if you focus all the fire on him and he starts dodging actively at the start, it makes it very difficult. But staying cool, Welsh team just immediately getting a knockout on somebody at the back. I think this is going to be a close game again. There we go, nice bit of aggression, but unfortunately you got knocked out on the way forwards. Mongoose has taken an early lead, yeah. But the Welsh players are doing exactly what you suggested, which is using some effort to push forward to the line and try not to let them take the whole court. That's a brilliant shield there from the red team on the far left-hand corner of the court, and they're just ignoring him. He could get some really good knockouts from there. And he's tied it back up, 6-all. Halfway through. Lovely focus fire coming out of the Welsh team, knocking the shield down, getting a knockout. This is their chance. They've pushed it back. Dan remaining calm though, he's just trying to get those, they've left him alone on that corner, and if they don't knock him out, he's just going to get some knockouts. Tied it up, 9-all, 10 seconds left. It's pulled back the other way, oh, so close. It might be overtime. Come on, Wales. I want both teams to win, but I'm shouting Wales right now. Yes! Right, so we're going to go to a third game. Absolutely brilliant play, and they did exactly what you said, is they started to push the front line, be more aggressive effectively, and take more of the court, and I think that's actually what they turned it around. I think both teams took advantage of something, which is if you can push the front line, go into a corner, and then the people don't pay attention to you, you can get some good knockouts from there. And I think there was definitely a situation where Dan got left alone for a bit, and I think it's Ewan from the Welsh team got into a corner as well and was being not targeted, which you can't really do. So the question is, who's going to win this last round between them? What's your bet?
Definitely very close, but I want Wales to win.
So you want Wales? I mean, I historically backed Wales when it came down to Wales and Scotland when we did the tournament last year. But in this case, if you're going Wales, I'm going to have to back Mongooses, so it's fair. So I'll probably forget halfway through and start cheering for Wales. But it genuinely could go either way here.
I feel like Wales has improved very much over the last few weeks.
Yeah.
So they have a good fighting chance.
The other thing is, it takes some psychological oomph to come back from losing the first game to then that game was very much backwards and forwards, and both teams just stayed cool under pressure and carried on. It's one of the things, you've only got 80 seconds, it's very easy to get tilted during that 8 seconds, and all of a sudden, you know, if you're not in it, you're not getting points. Am I right in saying, I think Welsh team have switched up their players, or am I wrong? Maybe I'm wrong.
I guess we'll find out.
I didn't see if they subbed somebody, but we'll find out. Whereas Mongooses is the same lineup. We'll see if Dan goes to the front at the start. I think he's not going to. I think there's going to be pushing over the front line a bit more. I didn't see any stats there indicating shield, so I think it's going to be a straight shootout again. Nice one. Lovely work from Wales. Literally getting 3 knockouts straight away. But Mongoose is going to stay calm under pressure. Can they start to pull it back? 60 seconds remaining. Nice bit of shields. Lovely shields there from the Welsh team.
Great organisation from Mongoose, taking out the shield instantly.
Oh, 100%. Absolute good teamwork. But Wales staying in it, staying calm. Dan's not pushing the front as much as he normally does. This is it. Dan's going to start pushing because he knows he's got to get some knockouts. There's 30 seconds left. Mongooses need to be aggressive. This is their only chance. They need to start getting some knockouts. One of them needs to push to this side of the court. Come on, Dan, you can do it. Nice. One more point in it. Come on, Mongooses. 10 seconds left. Just 2 knockouts remaining. Can they pull it back? Welsh team sticking with it. Really well played. Absolutely brilliant play from both teams there. Some real grit and determination from both teams, just staying in it right to the end.
Great play from both teams and great comeback from Wales over the play.
I was about to say, I mean, every single person got points on the board there. That was absolutely brilliant. Well, thank you very much for helping joining me commentary. Good luck with the rest of your games.
Thank you.
And enjoy the rest of the day, and I'll see you later.
You too.
I'll see if I can grab one of the other teams coming out of that game. But that was an amazing game. Here we go. Just run me your name again.
Cameron.
Cameron. Good to see you, Cameron. So, I mean, that was some of the most tense gameplay I think we've seen all day. How was it for you?
It was rather intense. It's obviously being in the bottom, you don't want to become last, right?
Fair.
I think we pride ourselves as Wales for not coming last. We've had the Six Nations, we came last in that, obviously.
Yeah.
But we really wanted to go out today and just prove that how much we can progress in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I think we've done that. We've played good games up against Wolfpack earlier, and then
100%.
in that game we did a rotation game where it didn't work. In that time, we realised that, and then we went in. We gave a pretty good dominant performance in the first game. In the second game, it was a little bit harder.
I was about to say, so for me, the grit and determination during the game, the game before the last game, where it was just a backwards and forwards from both teams, was amazing. Because fundamentally, they started off winning, I think. You pushed it back, they started pushing back, you then pulled it through. And then that last game, we were saying actually, to your first game, we felt that you weren't pushing like the front line as much.
Yeah.
And there was a teammate from one of the teams sat here, and he said they need to push that line. In the second game, you literally did that. Like Dan pushed forwards, you didn't let him, you pushed back, and all of a sudden, you had the psychological advantage in some ways because you were taking parts of the court.
Like Dan played this game for a long time, right?
Oh yeah.
Like he likes to brag about it quite a lot. I've only met him today, and he's talked about it about 5 times. So
100%.
But yeah, no, I think that he tries to bait out people, and he realises his strength is to be quite obnoxious, and that's fine. Obnoxious is the right word for it. And because of that, he's quite loud, and he tries to aggravate the OT. So we just realised in the third game in particular, that just ignore him. He's not doing great in terms of shooting, and then when we can get him to the angle that we want him to be over pushing himself into angles, then we can utilise it.
So we were focused on the other players as well.
Yeah, we were trying to get the young players out of the situation. We were looking for our cross shots, etc.
Yeah.
And we've had lots of coaching from Synergy, especially Ash and Shamai. So it's one of the things where because obviously we're going to the World Cup soon, we need to really improve. And playing against players who have been playing for years, some of them is obviously quite difficult, but I feel like we're now starting to close that gap.
I was about to say, some of the things that I saw that you guys were doing particularly well was like lovely movement up the edges of the court, because fundamentally, I think it was you at one point, he pushed to the front left and ended up in a brilliant position where he could basically just cross shot and people weren't knocking him out from there. All right, we've got the next game up. You can hang around if you want, and we do some commentary.
We've got
Wolfpack on the left in red versus the Devourers on the blue team. So who's your money on out of the Devourers and Wolfpack?
Wolfpack are really good, and I also think the Devourers are really good. So it's really quite difficult.
So either way.
Either way, I think Wolfpack may have a slight advantage. I think they've got a really good sniper, and I think their sniper is really, really strong. They obviously play with a pretty good shielder as well for the sort of tier 2 level, as I would put it. Their shielder is probably the best one out of the 4 teams we have.
I'm with you,
in terms of the bottom side of it. Devourers, on the other hand, they have their size advantage, right? They are so low to the ground. Maybe it shouldn't be so bad in this game because their height difference
isn't that bad.
When we were playing earlier, we've got 3 guys who are over 6 foot tall, so we had to go change.
I was about to say, it is hard because when you're playing somebody who's a different height than you, effectively you have to actively look down, and that angle change is difficult. When they're on the same level as you, it's a lot easier because you can kind of just fire at the same height each time.
And it makes it a lot more enjoyable to try to get all these angles as well. I really want the Devourers to win because I think they just bring so much energy. I always look at this kid just dancing.
He's just dancing.
He's having a great time. And we that sort of stuff is really good to watch and entertaining. But it's also just the fact that they are like this on the sidelines as well all the time, and
they're just enjoying life.
They just enjoy it, and that's what HADO's about, right? It's about enjoying exercise and enjoying motion. So
100%. It's also quite intimidating to come up against because when your opponent's just cheerfully firing energy orbs at you, you're not going to psych them out. I think is the key thing. They're just going to enjoy it and have fun, which makes them good.
The target that if I was on the Devour side right now, who I'll be looking for is the middle player. On time to this bet.
Is he a better shot?
He's a better shot, but he also panics if he gets killed.
With you, cool. So if you can pressure him.
If you can pressure someone, that's the person you want to pressure. The shielder is really good, and he charges up really well. I would be expecting shields to be starting coming in around 60-second mark. On these guys, they'll probably use about 3 shields to begin with if they're playing the shield. And then they'll use 2 roughly when they get to 25 seconds left.
So you're expecting shields from both teams here? I think.
I'm expecting shields from Wolfpack. I'm not so sure about Devourers.
Fair.
We'll be able to find out in a minute, hopefully.
I was about to say when they start. I think it'd be interesting because we need to switch this camera over, so hopefully my tech person's not going to get too distracted.
Oh, well, hopefully not.
He's definitely currently not off taking pictures, but bear with me a second. He'll switch it quickly.
Yeah, hopefully we can switch it.
If not, it'll be fine.
If not, we can talk about it. Oh, there we go.
So we're about to start. He switched it over. There we go. Perfect timing. So we do have shields coming out
They have
of
shields on
Wolfpack.
both sides. Do they have shields on their side?
I didn't see. I think
I missed that one. We'll find out in a
not.
second when it comes up in front of us.
No, so they're just shooting, I think.
Yeah. So no shields on the side of Tavares.
Yeah.
One shield on the side of this. We do see Wolfpack using a lot more bullets than what most teams are using at the moment. They've only got one player playing on 4, the other playing on 2 and 1 respectively.
All right, so here we go. Shields up at 60 seconds, as you called it. Now, can they take advantage of that?
Double shield up there. You also use their spare shield, right? Because it's a different shield that they have.
Yeah, but Devourers managing to still have the point lead means that they stand a good chance, because if they can keep tied when all the shields are gone, then it's in their favour.
This player 4, I think it is, player 4 has got 2 kills on this. The littlest one, he's just rapid on his feet. He's just moving constantly. He's just not letting anyone hit him.
I think
he had a lot of focus on him.
I was about to say, he's got the advantage of being a really good dodger and good at shooting.
And being small.
And small, yeah.
And the target is really low to the ground, so it's really hard because you have to then bounce it towards the ground.
Yeah,
It just feels really unnatural.
I'm going to age myself here. It's like playing Odd Job back when you're playing Goldeneye and all that sort of stuff, yeah. So here we go, 5-3. So I think at this point it's probably in Devourer's favour because all the shields have been used, but Wolfpack pulling it back. 1 point in it. They just need to get one more knockout and then we can go to overtime.
Yeah, they should have an advantage in terms of a charge. They've let the time go.
They played.
Hold on.
I was going to say Wolfpack playing really aggressively at the end, maybe an indication that they should go shootout because they really pushed Devourer back into a corner at the end there, and it looked like they could have tied it up.
Yeah, if we look at where the shields were placed as well, Wolfpack, if I was in Wolfpack's situation now, I would just remove the shield.
Yeah.
Because where they went to try and make the shield plays, they kept on dying, right? And this is one of the trade-offs that you do in terms of shields. Shields are really full for charging rate, but it's really detrimental if you are going to die when you place your shield, right? So if you miss your shield timing, we saw it earlier with Reese in Team No, where they missed their shield timing by about a millisecond and then died because of it. So you have to work out the benefit of that. If I was Wolfpack in this situation, I would just go for the standard 3 shields and have another tactician or move Nathan over to the sniper.
I was about to say, so the advantage of downside of shields is you can help your teammates, but the downside is you're going to get targeted as you move forwards, and if they can knock you out, that's a big problem. And then the other side of it is if you are a teammate who's gotten behind a shield, as that shield collapses, often if you've not realised what's happening, you can be a bit stationary and get knocked out as well. So shields are great, but they can be a risk when you're using them. I know my team, when we used to compete, we really liked people putting shields up because what we were thinking was that's a 3 point for us when we can knock that down and knock them out. Yeah. So if you can get some concentrated fire, what I would say, by the way, actually, your team's doing really good at concentrated fire on shields, and that's a key thing. If you've got to get them down or get angles around them and shoot around them.
So one thing we saw in terms of their last game, Devourer's last game, they were really good at just ignoring the shield, right? They were focusing on the other person, which is a really good skill to have from a team. And if not, you have to make sure that you're getting, especially if you've got a 5 shielder, you have to get those shields down in 3 to 4 seconds.
Otherwise they're just doing,
because they stay up naturally for 12 seconds. No shield this time.
No shields. So they literally heard what we said and went, we're going to go straight shootout. And I think Wolfpack stand a better chance here, but we shall see how much Devourer feel confident after that last game.
Yeah, we've also seen the scale shift as well, so we've now gone up to 2 with 4 scale. Yeah. Which I think 4 scale is by far the strongest at the moment. I know that Lucas, the Tino, was playing 5 scale earlier. Yeah. And that's a bit overkill in my opinion. But we can see that they've been coming out in terms of that. We can see that they're also doing quite well in terms of height and Wolfpack, but they are now still 2 goals behind, right? So,
yeah, but they're doing well. I mean, their player there at the front, player 2, just doing a brilliant job at dodging, drawing some fire. I mean, 40 seconds in, there's a good chance that they can turn this around if he can carry on doing what he's doing. Unfortunately, he's down to 1 point. They did. He's down to 1 petal left.
Yeah. But he's also again 3, which I was talking about before, 5. I can't see from here. 5, where he's just so good at being on that ground and being really low down to the quick field. And he's just getting these shots off constantly. He's got 4 charge.
Man of the match for this game at the moment is player 2 on the red team because he's doing an absolutely amazing job at drawing all the fire and allowing his team to get some knockouts, still getting some accurate shots on target. I don't know if he's even been knocked out this game. I'll have to check his stats at the end.
I don't think he has so far. Oh, they've got the kill. Oh.
Wow. Lovely work by Wolfpack, pulling it back. As I say, player 2. Which one is it? Player
1's got 2 kills.
Yeah.
And he's been able to turn it around as well. They all died at the same time though, in terms of the 3 kills they lost.
Very true.
Which may mean that they just were
unlucky,
or they were turn in at the wrong time into the play.
Yeah, you can have a bit of a cascade effect because if one person gets knocked out, it makes it a lot easier for the other team to then know who they're shooting at. So when you're trying to combine fire, if somebody's gone all of a sudden, then you shoot the next person, then the next person, you can often have a situation where you knock all three out very quickly. But that was a very tense game, and I think Wolfpack made the right choice of dumping the shields, going for more of a shootout. Devourer looking less energised than I've seen all day. They're not dancing. But I think they're just trying to get focused. They're currently having a think, trying to have a chat, see what they're doing.
Their coach from Synergy helping them.
I was about to say, what I love about this sport is the fact that fundamentally everyone wants everyone to play better.
Yeah.
So every single team will have other people from other teams come in to help, give advice.
Yeah,
and
I've never
see
met
what they
such
can
a friendly group. I used to play rugby for years, and I don't think I would have never said that I actually quite like watching England do well. As a person and someone
But
who
when they're
plays
so
for well,
nice.
It's really hard to just be angry at them. So this is a very close game. I think we've seen the skill gap decrease quite heavily as we've gone through in terms of.
I mean, the way the tournament's set up, I think it was the closest matches are going to be the ones at the end, just the way the sort of system works. But yeah, I mean, it makes the finals more tense, right? So I guess it's the best way to do it.
And I wonder if they will go to the shields this time in terms of it on the Devouras. They do have absolute rapid player number 5.
Okay, so you reckon they could change it up? We'll see. I feel like it's going to be another straight shootout, but I could be wrong.
It's going to be a straight shootout. You're right.
Straight shootout.
Devouras staying on the exact same stats as before, and I think Wolfpack are staying with the same stats they had the last game.
So we'll see if it's a replay. I mean, it was close. It could have gone all the way in the last game, fundamentally.
It did go down to the absolute wire on that one. You can see this player 3 just not getting focused here, and he's got some really big shots. He's got a good kill off there from just people ignoring his existence.
But Wolfpack starting to be more aggressive towards the middle line, which is, I think, what they need to do. And player 2, again, doing a good job at trying to draw some fire and dodging. But
he's getting a lot of fire against him there.
He's not being targeted as much as the last game, so maybe it might not work out. But the question is, he's also a good shot. Yeah. So fundamentally, if they don't shoot at him, they've got a downside.
Yeah, and they've kind of brought him all into this side of the court, right?
Yeah.
Because if he don't, he's got that cross shot.
And 100%.
They know for a fact, as soon as he goes to that cross shot, you can see it right there, he's taking out 2 tails right there.
Yeah, it's so difficult because they can't see it coming.
Yeah.
It's outside of their peripheral vision.
Force them into the middle of the court, which allows the other 2 players to really sort of optimize and take into this additional charge rate.
Oh, 100%. 20 seconds left. This is looking like it's going to be a Wolfpack victory, but
player 2 currently with 50% hit accuracy, which is insane.
Which, I mean, it just shows that if you leave him alone, it's a risk. Yeah. He's a very good player, but if you target him, then he's good at dodging, and the other team is going to back him up. Yeah. That's what you want: is a team where everyone's good at dodging, everyone's good at shooting. So there you go. Brilliant game. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
And I'll see if I can get one of these guys into interview from the game that we just had. But there we go. Wolfpack just taking it over Devourer at the end there. Some really good play. They dropped their shields play and switched to a straight shootout tactic. But Devourer playing really, really well. And yeah, man of match, player 2. Who I'm trying to remember what his name is. Sorry, I'm terrible with names. Apologies. Let's have a look. See if my notes can remind me. I think it's Nathan. If not, I'm shouting out Nathan and saying nice things about him, and I got the wrong guy. All right, so I've got to try and work out who's next. Hello, come join me.
Hi.
We have a guest for the interview. Remind me your name.
Tristan.
Tristan. So that was probably some of the most tense gameplay that we've seen all day. How did it feel for you?
Just really, I got really hyped because I just getting shot at, and I felt really under pressure.
Okay. I mean, the first game, you guys, I've basically said in all my commentary today, have been doing absolutely amazing, dancing, keeping up the energy. After the game that they beat you, the second one, I saw for the first time a bit of worry come in, and you started talking to your teammates about what you could do. Did you have any plans to change anything up, or were you we're just going to do better in our strategy?
We were going to try 2 assassins instead of 1, because we were doing 2 technicians and assassin.
Yeah.
But it didn't really work because they didn't do the shields, so I tried with 2 assassins, but I guess it didn't work out.
Fair. I was about to say, you played really well against their shields, because at the start we were talking about Mikey's very good at putting shields up, but you guys were really good at getting shots around it. Yeah. Is that your preference rather than knocking them down? Is it to try and get angles around rather than knock through?
We're trying to get so the technician was trying to get them shields down,
Yeah.
and then the one assassin was going to get ready, charging for when the shield breaks and to get them shields to
Nice.
get them shots out, and one tried to get the angle round.
Nice. I mean, all I would say is your team, all of you, seem to be able to shoot really accurately and being very good at dodging. Do you feel that, like, the other thing I would comment on as well is you guys seem to be quite good at taking a bit of the court. A lot of the other teams we've seen today are a bit more static, whereas today, between you guys and that last game, both of you at points were pushing into the middle of the court. Is that a thing that you intentionally practice, or?
Yes, we do. We try different ways, and we try to use them and try to use their weaknesses against their teams.
Nice.
And try new things.
Excellent. Okay. Have you enjoyed yourself so far?
Yes.
Okay. Who do you think's going to win?
Synergy, probably.
Synergy. Okay. Well, thank you very much for the interview. It's been a pleasure. Have a lovely rest of your day, and well played. It was brilliant to watch you guys. All right. So up next, we've got. Hang on a second. I'm trying to work it out. Bear with me just a moment. I think we said Warp Star. So we've got Warp Star going on the court. And we've got... Is it Team No? I think it might be Team No. I'm trying to work it out. Oh no, it's Agents of HADO. So we've got Agents of HADO versus Warp Star. So Agents of HADO look like they're going to be on the red team. And Warp Star is going to be on the blue team. So, thank you very much, by the way, if you've joined us today. We've got obviously a few more matches. We've got some exciting finals and stuff coming up. I've done my best to explain what's going on, but there's a very good chance that I've not explained it perfectly. So any comments on bits that you're unsure about be helpful. We'll try and pass that back to feedback for the future. But we've had a really high level of play here today so far. And I'm very looking forward to seeing the rest of these games. These two teams actually coming in right now, I don't even know who's going to win. I think this could literally go either way. I feel that the Agents of HADO might have a bit of a slight advantage. But that said, Warp Star were feeling confident when I was talking to them earlier. So we shall see what happens. Warp Star, again, have a player that is very good at the front, who sits there dodging to try and draw fire. Agents of HADO have tended to hang a bit further back at the start of the game, so we'll see what happens. Bear with me a minute, I'm just going to find out which game this is. So,
It's third place playoff.
Third place playoff. How many more games after this?
After this match, there's the final.
Cool. So, this is for the third place playoffs. So this is who's going to come third. And then after this, we've only got one more game, and it's going to be the final. So that's going to be the exciting finale where we get to see who finally wins the tournament. Again, we're coming out of the HADO Arena in Coventry. It's a lovely venue. If you ever get a chance to come to Coventry and give HADO a go, absolutely do so. You can find information about HADO on the internet. It's on the ukhado.com. Hopefully you've enjoyed stuff on the YouTube channel. I don't have it set up so I can see comments, so if you've been saying nice stuff, I apologise if I missed it, but I hope that you are having a smashing day and enjoying a bit of HADO Spring Cup. Obviously, do come and join us for the World Cup in Shanghai that will be taking place at the end of May, because that's going to be exciting. But here we go. So we've got Agents of HADO on the red team, and we've got Warp Star on the blue team. All right, game on. 8 seconds on the clock. Blue team getting a point straight away. Nice and relaxed. All right, here we go. We've got some tactics. So we've got shields coming out of Agents of HADO. They're going for a shield build. I think our shields are a bit too far forwards. The problem with it is the blue team are able to get around it, so they've had to use a third shield to do a 90 degrees to the right shield. Now, that's quite annoying because you've got to use up 3 shields rather than just 1 or 2. And it also means it's quite difficult because you can't now shoot at player 4, who's on your very right, very easily. Those cross-court shots are very difficult to deal with because they're difficult to see coming. But Agents of HADO starting to pull back. 2 versus 4. I still think that at this point it might be a bit in the favour of Warp Star because they are in a straight shootout build. So they do have somebody playing a technician role, which is player 6, so their job will be to fire lots of shots. So they have a high charge rate, 58% accuracy coming out of one of the players, player 4 on the blue team. So there's some really accurate shots coming in from the 2 assassins, and the 1 technician, whose job it is to try and take the shields down, is doing an amazing job of putting those shots into the enemy team and to their shields. Right, there we go. So first game goes to Warpstar with a decisive victory, doing a really good job at dealing with the shields. My only comment to Agents Shield, Agents of HADO, I think their shields were slightly far forwards on the left, so the positioning made it slightly difficult for them. Player 4 on the blue team there, getting a 53% accuracy is really good. 5 knockouts, and I believe that was the player that pushed up to the front left-hand side when they did the shields and was able to get some shots from a station position that was quite difficult to take out. Very good movement as well from that player, moving probably the furthest out of everyone. But we'll go on to the next game soon. We'll see if they change tactics. It'll be interesting to see if they use a shield play again, or if they change it up for more of a straight shootout. I think if I'm a betting man, Warpstar are going to stick with a similar build, and I think the Agents of HADO might switch to a more of a shootout build. So we might have a straight shootout, but it's a bit difficult to tell. Only 40 seconds left. Agents of HADO having a chat on the left-hand side, deciding what they want to do, setting their stats at the moment. Warpstar relaxed on the right, not seemingly under pressure, just chill. I think they're going to stick with their same strategy. They didn't seem to have any conversations about like what they're going to do or anything, which means chances are they'll stick with the same plan. All right, here we go. 10 seconds. This is for the 3rd place. Can Agents of HADO bring it back to take us to a 3rd round, or are Warpstar going to knock them out? Here we go. No shields, it's a straight up shootout. 80 seconds on the clock. It is super tense in here. The tension in the room has gone up dramatically. Everyone's being very quiet for this one, because it could go either way. 70 seconds left. So lots more aggression coming out of Agents of Shield with that extra ability to shoot. But Warpstar getting the early points, weathering the storm, remaining cool under pressure. Agents of HADO are letting them take the ground a bit. I think Agents need to push up and maybe try and take the centre a bit. But they seem to be happy where they are. Warpstar putting a shield up there. Lovely shield coming out of Agents of HADO, pushing to the front line. He's going to be a target of quite a lot of those shots. Lovely shot. So as the other player from the opposite team came forward, he managed to knock him out as he slid in. That's a brilliant. It stopped him putting the shields up. That was a really good turning point from the red team there. 4-3, 30 seconds left. It's leaning towards Agents of HADO having the advantage, but it's tied up 4-4. 20 seconds. Anyone's game. Warpstar pulling it back. 2 points ahead, 3 points ahead. 10 seconds left on the clock. Late push from Agents, pushing to the front line, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough, and that's it. 4-9, absolutely well played there to Warpstar. Agents of HADO getting knocked out, unfortunately. So 5 points to player 4. Again, MVP from Warpstar is going to be player 4. I think he got the most knockouts in the first game and the second game. But absolutely brilliant score. Again, percentage-wise, you've got 43%, 42% accuracy coming out of a couple of the assassins on the blue team, and then 8% from their technician, who's got 48 shots. We'll see if we can grab one of the team. Would you like to join me for a chat?
Hello.
Hello. Remind me your name.
I'm Amber.
Amber. Good to see you. How was that for you guys? Are you happy how that went?
Yeah, it went really good. The strategies worked well as well, because I could see the stats no secret pointing back to them.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you were checking their stats from one side and then passing it back. Interesting. Okay, so I think that's the thing that the other team's going to have to take notice. So for the people at home, what that is, you've got your stats on your wrist piece. So when you press enter to join in, if you don't cover it or you don't hold it in a way that people in the audience can't see, you can give it away to the other team.
The one in the brown shirt, he went to shields the first game, and he was showing it to his other teammates, and I saw there was some in blue.
Nice.
So I knew he was going to go shield, so I warned my other teammate, so my technician could take him down.
I was about to say, I back in the day definitely never pulled the old handshake tactic before the game and looked to their wrists as they were handshaking. But no, you guys played really well there. I mean, what I would say, the grit and determination for both teams, because obviously in that second game they came out shooting, and I think what your team did really well was stay cool under pressure, because they definitely put a lot of pressure at the start, but then you started to pull it back, and I think your team probably dealt with the pressure better than they did.
Yeah.
It felt like as they were pressured, they started to fade, whereas you took advantage of that. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, because I think we played against quite a lot of these teams before as well in loads of different tournaments, as well as in training as well.
I'm with you,
so we do quite good under pressure as well, because we know how to communicate that across as well.
I was about to say, there was a bit between the two games where your team was just standing casually, and I was like, okay, they're chilling, they're not trying to give anything away. I did say they're going to stick with the same tactic. Was there any point where you would have tried a different tactic, or were you pretty confident that if you had a shootout, you'd do well?
Because we knew that they liked to go attacking or technicians. Against No, they went shields. And we have a technician, and we've got some great attackers as well.
Yeah.
So we weren't too worried about a shootout, because we know we could outshoot them.
I'm with you. And you weren't too worried about shields, because you've got a technician that can help take the shields down.
Yeah.
Nice. I was going to say, the accuracy coming out of some of your team is really good. I think in the second game there, I think the two assassins effectively were like 43% accuracy, which is very good for like this level of shooting. Obviously, your technician had a lower accuracy, but that's because you're firing more shots, you're less chances are. Who do you think? Okay, actually, here's the question. So up next, we're going to have Synergy versus who's the other team? Team No. Sorry, I'm terrible at recognising people. Who do you reckon is going to win out of Synergy and Team No?
The thing is, two of the people on Team No are in the World Cup team. So,
yeah.
And one of them is going shields. It depends how they do it, because Ash might go shields, depending, and then Shemai might go technician, and then you've got Fabian as an assassin. So it depends if No can counter them, or if Synergy's just going to outshoot them.
So do you feel with Synergy that they can all like do different stuff? Because back in the day, I feel like they had more, like Shemai for me, he historically would only ever do shootouts. He wasn't great at doing technician or shielding and stuff, but I feel that he's been playing long enough now. Has that changed? Do you feel like he could do a different role?
Because he used to do a lot of shooting, and now he's gone into technician more, and the same with Ash. He used to do not technician, assassin.
Yeah.
Now he's gone more into shielding, but Fabian's mainly an assassin, so he's going to stay that, I think.
I see. We're waving. You got this. Good luck, both teams. All right, here we go. So this is the first round of the final. Feel free to tag around, you can commentate. So we've got Synergy on the red team.
Oh, I think Ash is going to shield.
Okay, so we've got shield build coming out of Ash on the left-hand side, whereas against the shootout, against the other team on blue. Okay, so waiting for Leia. So the red team have got some shields, but they're waiting for a bit later in the game to use them.
Ash prefers to stack them, that's why.
I was about to say, and if they can take the advantage on points beforehand, then they've got a psychological advantage. Yeah. First little shield coming out of the blue team. Slightly stronger shield coming out of the blue team on the right side. Ash goes to counter it with a shield on the left. But blue team getting a point. Lovely shield there again from the blue team, keeping on the front line. Ash is pushing in to try and counter it. Ash is putting his shield in front of it. Now this does put pressure. Lovely shot there from Shemai. He sneaked it around a shield, got one petal out on the final target. So what's going on here is Ash is using his shields to counter the other team, but they've been doing a good job. Two points to one. Could be anyone's game. This is so tense. Shemai's volume's going up. That's showing he's getting stressed. The question is he going to tilt? Brilliant play from both teams. The thing is, I was about to say, at the moment, there's brilliant pressure on both teams. Oh, just tipped it. 2 seconds left. So close. The thing is, when you're doing shields, it really puts the pressure on the rest of the team to get knocked. So I've been there, like Ash, for example, when he's putting those shields up, it's really nerve-wracking because you can't control getting the knockouts. You've got to trust the rest of your team to do it.
My team, because I'm normally a shielder.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's mainly Alex, he's always at the front. He likes to be at the front and just go shoot them all. And then it's kind of hard to find an opening where he's not there.
I think that was the most textbook shield versus shield game I've seen ever, like in this tournament, definitely. Because effectively what you were doing was Ash was slow playing to like counter their shields. Yeah. So whatever shield they put up, he would put one up in front of it. I mean, yeah, is that what you would do? Or how would you deal with if the other team were doing shields and you had a shield? Would you try and use yours first or second?
We did this with Wolfpack. We were just trying to mirror them. So if they put a shield on one side, we put it on the other. Right. And that did work against them because I don't think they expected it.
Yeah.
Because normally we put up shields in front of shields.
Yeah.
But that did throw them off. So if you do mirror it, it does throw them off a bit.
So effectively, if they try the same thing again, Ash could like throw a different version in where they switch to the opposite sides.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens.
Because they have to shoot across, and then someone from in front could shoot the shield down and then just go.
I'm trying to do your tactic and see if I can see what Ash has got on his stats, but I can't quite see from here. My eyesight clearly not good. I need to get a pair of binoculars so I can just like spy on the stuff. Do you reckon they'll change up the tactics?
Possibly, because they know they've won one game. They want to try and make secure this second game. So possibly Ash probably would have gone attacking or possibly technician.
So you reckon it's going to be more of a shootout coming out of Synergy? All right, here we go. 80 seconds on the clock. No shields. It's going to be a straight shootout. Who do we think, Team No or Synergy?
Oh, and they've gone for Reese.
Lovely early point coming out of the blue team. They're trying to keep Fabian out of the game. I'm guessing Fabian also, they're feeling that he's the one that they're happiest that he's less good at dodging than the other two.
Yeah, they also, I think what they're trying to do is try to get one player out there.
Yeah, so they're focus firing effectively. With the size of their orbs, it is tough to dodge 3 sets of orbs coming at you at the same time. Synergy staying cool though. They've managed to get a 3-1 lead. 40 seconds left. Ash, nice little sliding attack, but he did get knocked out. Gave the point. So what's happening is every time they're pushing to the front line, they are getting knocked out.
I think Lewis realised that what they're doing is trying to go forward and push through.
Yeah. Oh, it's so close. It's 4-4. 20 seconds left. Who's going to win? Again, Shamai shouting loudly. He's the captain of the shot caller on Synergy. Generally a sign he's getting stressed. Blue team's got it. 1 point in the lead. Tied up. Are we going to go to overtime? 6-all. Okay, overtime. Overtime, here we go. First knockout wins. So, in overtime, it's really important that you all target the same person normally. So you want to target the person that's like the person you're going to get shot. So, who do you reckon Blue's going to go for?
Probably Reese, I think.
Yeah, so Reese needs to get ready to dodge here. He's got a shield up, smart. Makes him less want to be shot at. Good time for him to use a shield, but is it going to be enough? Fabian's doing an absolute job dodging that corner, using all his height and jumping. And he got the knockout. So not only was he being targeted, but he got the knockout as well.
One shot.
Absolute. That for me is the dodge and knockout of the game, and the day fundamentally. That was really well played. Well deserved victory there for their team and Team Synergy. Ash is looking worn out. You good? Oh, okay. He's upset. Ash is upset. He's died 4 times. Thank you very much for helping commentate. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for enjoying the day. I'll see if I can grab somebody from maybe the victors. Yeah. Well, bear with us just a second. I think we're going to get the entire winning team if we can. Thank you very much for joining us, by the way, if anyone at home has been watching. Yeah, I was about to say, for future people that are watching this from the teams, because I know you were going to go watch it, apologies if I got your names wrong. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. I'll improve in future. I'll try and give some more useful commentary if I can. And here we go. We're grabbing the entire Team Synergy. Welcome. So, are you all in? Oh, I'm going to do the thing. I have been handed an incredibly valuable trophy that means I've won Best Commentator of the Day.
Way!
So thank you very much. No, I'm joking. It's for you guys. So first of all, how did that feel for you guys?
Intense. It was meant to be intense. I mean, we're up against the second best team in the country, and
100%.
they put on a good fight.
Can I just say, your final knockout and dodge was probably the best dodge and knockout of the entire day.
One bomb. Lucas, you owe us 10 press-ups.
I was about to say, because you were being targeted heavily, and Shamai, you kept your volume below like a 9 out of 10. Yeah. I did say to a few people, like, you can tell Shamai's stress level based on the volume coming out of him, and you didn't go to an 11, so good job. But anyway, here you go, guys. Here is your trophy for the Spring Cup, the HADO UK Spring Cup 2025. Well played. Give them a round of applause. Thank you to all the teams for coming today and competing. Is there anyone else you want to give a shout out to?
Very, very quickly, obviously we've won and lost multiple different tournaments and stuff, but because Fabian, this is his first trophy, that is for you to keep. So well done, you earned it.
Well played. And well played, Fabian. Absolutely brilliant.
Small final shout out from Team No. Reese, that shield, well done. And we'll upload it later, it was wicked. But yeah, do you want to say anything?
Team No was definitely the hardest game in the finals, especially the second game, since it was like always a draw for pretty much most of the game. And yeah.
But you stayed cool.
Yeah.
Well done.
All right, well, thanks very much. In that case, well played. Enjoy your trophy. Thank you to all the teams for coming. We will see some of you, a couple of you, in Shanghai at the end of May, and some other players that we've seen today. So join us for the World Cup in Shanghai, and hopefully we'll see some amazing games then. But thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Thanks for coming.
One more thing.
Thank you for.
One more thing.
Oh, one more thing.
One more thing. Personal thing.
Yeah.
Tournaments are getting really, really tough. So me and Ash are on our last legs. So for you lot, enjoy playing against us because it won't be happening for too much longer.
They're calling it out, so you need to beat them before they retire. Otherwise, you can never beat them. Because all I'm going to say is I retired on top as well. So good job retiring when you're on top.
Don't miss.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, enjoy, guys. Thanks very much. Have a lovely rest of your day. Thanks to the people at home. Thanks to all technical staff, etc. And bye bye.